Hey, welcome
What's up,
to Worcester
everybody?
Council Theater 3000. Everybody, Bill, how you doing?
Not bad. I was about
Oh,
to
good.
say not great, but I'm doing fine. I don't know why
All
I would
right.
have said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
not
the
great.
general thing these days. Yeah, that's the best we
No,
can hope for. Is not great.
yeah. Things are not going great in the world at large right now.
You know what is
Uh,
great though? Our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha, the greatest, um, whatever kombucha is that I've ever had in my life. It's
yeah, it's
delicious,
awesome.
and
It's great.
you should get it. And if you go down to your store and they don't have it, guess what? You gotta invade them.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Hey, how am I sounding tonight? I'm trying out a new thing.
You sound good. I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback, but you have headphones on, so I don't know why that is.
Feedback. It's turned
Yeah, I'm
up a little.
hearing my voice back again, but now it's not.
Interesting.
So I think we're good.
Let
You
me.
sound great. You look great.
Oh,
Tell you
thanks,
that
man. You
much.
look great too, as
Thanks.
always.
Thank you.
As
It's good to see you.
always.
We took last week off because the city council took last week off. Um, and if we're not going to work harder than them, that's for damn sure.
No, fuck.
That's
Why
what
would
this
we
whole
fucking
thing
do
is
that?
about. Yeah, not working hard.
Yeah.
Uh,
No one in Worcester works hard.
no.
Just kidding. But no one on the city council works hard. I don't know if you saw, but Steve Foskett over the Telegram did like a little survey where he asked every city councilor how they would feel about rent control, if and when the state would allow for local municipalities to do rent control. And the four horsemen of the conservative wing were all like, "Fuck no."
Uh-huh.
Attell and Christian were like, "Yeah, of course." And then everyone else was like, well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if you really want me making like a decision on anything.
Good
It's not my
God.
job to make a decision here. Yeah.
That's two. Two was middling on that one.
Two didn't respond to the survey or didn't get their response in time or something. I don't know. It
All
was
right,
at
that's a
the
good
bottom of the
plan.
article. At the bottom of the article, it was like they didn't respond to comment or something like that. So
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe just didn't see it or what
yeah.
have you. I don't know. But
I'm confident what the answer would be. That's why I was
oh
surprised. Yeah.
yeah. Me
Uh,
too.
but that is
Yeah. Sarai Rivera, her quote was great. She said that she felt like rent control is an issue worth discussing, of course. But quote, I don't think any of us can make a decision off the cuff. It's like I don't. Basically
you're
saying,
paraphrasing. This answer was 7 pages long, wasn't it?
yeah, I bet.
Uh,
Um,
well, that's heartening. Yeah, I'm assuming if it's in the Telegram.
yeah, they've made it so annoying to get past their paywall that I actually had to buy a subscription, and I'm upset about it.
They got you. Well, let's there's a little bit of news going on in Worcester, but before we do that, let's bring in our perma guest. You know him, you love him. Let's welcome to the stream, Brendan Melican, everybody.
How are you?
Oh, you're very quiet. Yeah.
I'm over here
Oh,
now.
there we go. You're gonna want to talk right into that
There we
thing.
There it is. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I got an echo coming back on me now too. Does that mean we get to blame Bill?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best course
Fair
of
enough.
action.
I just muted him and he's definitely echoey. So sorry, Bill.
All right. We'll work without him then.
It's probably the StreamYard settings. If you go into the setting button in audio, you can click your speaker and change it. And but it's a pain in the ass. This streaming is often stupid. Rarely works correctly and is a poor simulation of real life. And
how did you spend your week off, Brian?
I did, I just tried to really like hunker down and really just watch all the CNN I could watch. I think it's important to stay as informed as possible.
Just
and that's
suck all that CNN into your brain. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the way to
just
go.
Give it to me, baby.
There he is.
Hey,
Oh.
yep. Whoop. He's teasing. He's being a little tease.
Almost there.
How did you spend your week off, Brendan?
I don't remember it. I'm still dealing with the whole COVID thing. My brain is
Sick.
working less and less every day. I can smell again though.
Oh hell yeah.
Nothing smells good. That's so
No.
that's
Do
my,
you find that you have weird taste combinations now? I know.
not really. The taste has been really that hasn't come back fully. It's the smell was the first thing to come back, and I was really disappointed with how things smell out here. It's something we definitely need to work on.
The world stinks.
It does.
You heard it from Brendan Melican.
World stinks. But yeah, my
What?
brain doesn't work anymore, and yeah, it's
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on your own, pal. Whoa. Did anyone else see that? Did anyone see Bill disappear?
Bill just disappeared.
Holy shit. He phased out. That was crazy. Oh, okay.
Good Lord.
That was wild. I was terrifying. I don't know. My brain no longer works after seeing that.
So what do we have on the docket tonight?
Oh, what is even on the docket tonight? Let's pull that up. Let's see if I can find it. I posted it on our Facebook post, and then I lost that post. Maybe do I have COVID?
It's possible.
I can't think.
Yeah.
And I licked a parking meter that someone coughed on the other day. So
How did that taste?
not good.
I can't taste parking meters.
Yeah.
I've been trying. It goes nowhere.
Bill, we got you. This whole thing is
It's a mess.
going to come together.
Riveting content.
It's
Okay.
fine. Who cares? Yeah, I can hear Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Joey,
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, sound beautiful.
am I still echoing?
No.
I can't hear me through your speaker, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
There it is.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, I tried an overly complicated setup that would allow me to sit back on my couch. And that obviously doesn't work with this platform. So I'm going to have to sit up at attention the entire time, which is really annoying and frustrating for me. But you got to do what you got
Designed
to
to
do.
punish us. It's our
Posture is
karma
very
for doing
important.
this.
Yeah, so I missed it, but we got a couple interesting things on the agenda. A report on the way the city has handled unhoused populations in Upper Lincoln Street.
Poorly.
Yeah, right. But
I just wanted to throw this out there early too. I don't know if anyone noticed, but that Planet Fitness that's been under construction in Lincoln Plaza opened up a week or so ago. Perfect location for the city to be buying memberships for unhoused people for shower and gym facilities, which many large cities are doing. And I noticed that conversation is right before the ARPA dollars conversation. Seems like a great way to spend a very small sliver of ARPA dollars to,
yeah,
provide
that's
some
the kind of forward-thinking policy proposals that Worcester is allergic to considering. So,
yeah, no, I don't expect it to come up. That's why I just figured I'd mention it now. That's.
But what else? We have two orders about down payment assistance for potential first-time home buyers from George Russell and Kate Toomey. It seems like the council likes to file one of these every fucking week and ignore anything else that they could possibly do about the affordable housing crisis. It's very annoying and short-sighted and not addressing the root cause of the problem. And we will get to hear the councilors blather on about how they think it will, despite all evidence to the contrary. So that's going to be fun. Really excited about that one.
Yeah. It's a kind of a perfect Kate Toomey thing where it sounds like help, but is really just more discriminatory.
Yeah. Right.
Speaking of, hey, congratulations to Kate Toomey. Did you guys hear she's got a new gig?
No.
What's the gig?
Oh, let me pull it up. I want to make sure that I'm getting the exact wording correctly. Where did we hold that one? It's
Oh, hey, Pastel Poppy, don't think that I'm not playing Elden Ring while we're doing this.
Kate Toomey, Facebook.
Awfully presumptuous.
2 days ago. I'm thrilled to announce that as of Monday morning, I will be a post-release / reintegration specialist for the Worcester County Sheriff's Office. I look forward to working with partners throughout Worcester and Hampton counties to enable people to have a better chance of success. Fuck yeah.
That's pretty grim.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming out of a prison program and the first person that's waiting for you, City Councilor Kate Toomey?
Oh boy.
Can you imagine how she is going to treat people that are coming out of incarceration?
Hey,
and
so I
how
read an
the-
article that people in the prisons they make little knives with toothbrushes. Is that true? Did you make any
she was
little
getting-
knives with the toothbrushes?
She's
getting
looking for
tired
new stuff
of-
for her store.
Yeah, she was tired of licking boots, so she became the boot.
True.
God,
I'm from a law enforcement family.
I just feel so bad for anybody that has to deal with her and the horrible treatment that they're going to get from her, and the people that she knows already that she'll still work with and probably just let skate through the program. Which
Yeah, right.
that's fine. Just do it for everybody.
Yeah.
What could it possibly? What could it possibly be? Her CV was that she can help the sheriff politically. She gets the most votes in city council.
Right.
She has worked for a couple addiction treatment providers over the years. So I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
genuinely
All
has, but yeah, still bullshit. And leave it at that. Is the vigil still taking place outside of City Hall? Anyone know?
Which vigil?
There was a vigil for Ukraine outside. I assume that's why the meeting hasn't started yet.
I didn't know that there was one of those tonight.
Yeah, it was. Ben White has a couple clips on his Twitter feed.
Oh,
That
interesting.
Looks like it was still occurring as of relatively recently.
Huh. Okay.
There we go.
That's a nice thing to do.
Bill, the people want to know.
You like my coffee cup?
Oh man.
It's my camping coffee. And you know what I do is I put it right on the gas stove to heat it back up like I'm camping. So it's a little tiny sip of coffee.
And plus, it's really good for waving back and forth across the bars when you're,
Right,
hitch.
right. Clanking the bars. Yeah.
Thoughts on 10B?
10B. Hold on. I need to. That reminds me. Got to pull up the.
You notice how I
actual
lobbed that
agenda.
out there like I knew what it was?
Yeah, right.
Is that the artistic lighting under the Green Street Bridge item?
Oh my God. That was so punishingly stupid. I only had my notes pulled up and not the actual agenda because I'm a freaking dummy guy.
Hey,
we're
we're
out
out
of
of practice.
We've been out a week.
practice.
It feels like a whole year.
It really does.
Yeah, it is. It's probably why the meeting hasn't started yet, that they're doing the vigil. They probably are all going down there being like, yeah, we need to
We're helping.
Yeah, we're helping a lot. I stand with Ukraine. I don't stand with Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Afghanistan, or any of the other myriad countries that the United States has done this to and is doing it to all the time. But you know what? Russia's the bad guy. I stand with Ukraine.
Hey, remember
Did you guys
a
see
year
all
ago when Haiti's leader got assassinated and people needed to get out of the country and we chased them away on horses? Remember that?
Wait. What is this about my intern winning an award?
Yeah.
He's a
Jenny
person to
Pacillo.
watch, Bill.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he is. Keep one fucking eye on that kid at all times.
Yeah, you can't get the
Wait.
goddamn show name right.
Pulse Magazine person to watch?
Yeah, Jenny.
I won that
Jenny's trying to curry.
I won that
favor with
award
him.
once, and my life has been a mess ever since.
Yeah,
My
same
fucking-
here, Brendan.
My fucking intern wins person to watch, and I'm over here collecting the scraps.
And
God damn it.
he's not even
God
here
damn
right
it.
now.
What the hell?
Yeah, We
The hell,
give
Jack?
him our Instagram account to handle for this show. He changes the name of the show. I can't change it
Multiple
back because it
times.
has been 14 days. And then he doesn't even show up to the damn stream. This guy.
Yeah,
This
this
award
freaking guy. This freaking guy. I
You
swear to
better
God,
charge
when
him.
I let him when I let him out of his cage, he's gonna have some explaining to do. When I get 10,000 Instagram followers and he's finally let out of his cage and he's fed a real meal for the first time in 5 years, he's gonna be a person to watch. Tell you that. Watch for
You know
a
what I think
beating.
is cool about those awards is that the award is a little statue of the centerfold of people hanging out at Irish Times.
No way.
See,
No,
I
should
got
be
it
that.
in the COVID time, so I didn't get shit for an award. They just gave me a picture of myself that I had to supply.
I actually had to go to Irish Times to pick up my award. It was that long
See?
ago. Yeah.
See? And then they take a picture of you with the award, and then it becomes one of those things where it's just like cascading Brendan's all the way down.
It's Brendan's all the way down.
All the way down.
So Matt on 10B, that is pretty wonky, and it's fine. I don't know. I don't have any real thoughts on it outside of the fact that master planning and thinking about Worcester zoning code is a place where like a progressive coalition could do some real damage in solving the affordable housing crisis and making this a better place for people to live. But otherwise, it's just sort of general wonkery. So, yeah.
I genuinely cannot see the administration making any big leaps towards significant zoning changes that would change.
No,
anything.
what we need to disrupt the swaths of single family residential zoned property in the city, allowing for more dense residential development in those neighborhoods. But you touch those neighborhoods and the single family zoning, and it's going to be lawyers with pitchforks, like instantly. That's a really, really sticky, thorny subject, and it's part of the reason why we're in this.
We'll have all the Brendas in the world talking about their Brazilian neighbors.
Yeah. It's really a bigger prohibitor than most things to Worcester being the sort of like dense and flourishing city that we want it to be. Is that for a lot of our wealthier residents, they just want it to be a town.
Yes. Get on that Burnco Facebook group, everybody. We did have some pretty good news that happened that Bill wrote about today while they're not starting the meeting. Let's talk about it for a minute. The nurses voted to keep their union in shocking fashion.
That was about as good an end as could have come to that story, which was bewildering and really sort of insane that the nurses. There's Jack. I cannot believe
the stream. You don't know the name of the show.
A person to watch. That just really makes my blood boil. Just kidding, Jack. You're cool.
He's a good. Everybody say congratulations to Jack.
Congratulations, Jack. You're 40 under 40.
A major award. He's
it's
40 years under 40.
He's 40 years under 40.
That's how young he is.
But yeah, so the nurses, the vote was overwhelmingly in favor of keeping the union, which would make sense because the vote for ratifying the contract after the strike was also extremely overwhelming. And the fact that they were even forced to take that vote speaks to some very underhanded skullduggery at the hands of the hospital administration and some real bat cave vampire conservatives in Washington, D.C.
Has C. Richard Avola turned up in a ditch near Spider Gates yet?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's no longer useful and has such been the blood has been ritually extracted from his veins. Carolyn Jackson, the CEO of St. Vincent, I bet there's going to be some sort of repercussion for this. I don't think she'll be at that job very long because she really stuck her neck out to support the union decertification, and it was a really bad look for the company. And yeah, I think that Tenet might show her the door for that. It was very obvious, and I've talked to people that were high up and active in the union bargaining process, and they were like, it's always difficult to deal with the CEO, but she was on another level, and it was like obviously personal for her, and like she was vindictive. And
a union killed her dad. So
wait, really? A union heavy? What was he?
Yeah.
Like a
teamster with a tire iron.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, paid him his rightful wage until he died.
You know what? Say what you want about like the mafia and all that, but let's bring back union heavies. Like, why not? Like that strike at St. Vincent would have been a lot shorter if the threat of violence was real and actual.
I mean, as somebody that works with Teamsters every day, they're still union heavies. It's just unfortunate they're all Republicans now.
Yeah, right. Which is bewildering, but stupid games, stupid prizes. That's what we get.
Yeah. There's when we had our near strike, you saw a lot of heads kind of turn and realize like what was going on, and realize that maybe they became the bad guys.
Are we the baddies?
Speaking of strikes or labor disputes, so there's not going to be any opening day for Major League Baseball, but Minor League Baseball carries on. So that actually could be a good thing for Worcester if for people who actually care about baseball. The only baseball will be our baseball.
Really?
It's true.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that.
And it was just the cancellation of opening day and games moving forward was just announced today. But
if they didn't,
what is that all about?
So it's only the ninth time it's happened in Major League Baseball history. Yeah, but it's
the owners locked out the players about 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
And because very few people care about baseball these days, and most of them that do, are
already dead.
Yeah, it's just become the fan base has become weird enough that they gambled that they could lock the players out and keep the support of fans by saying, the players are too greedy, and it's working, seemingly. So they probably, there's a chance there might not be a season this year. Things have not progressed. Last week they had a negotiating meeting that lasted 15 minutes. So things aren't good. And that's looks like Polar Park's going to be the only place to catch a baseball game around here. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Baseball was great when it was invented for the radio.
Watching baseball listening to baseball on the radio is fun. Like when you're fun. It's nice.
Baseball is a lot better for a world in which you only have to do 2 things per day, and it takes forever to do them as well.
Yeah. Right.
I still love the game. Speaking as somebody that barely watches sports anymore, but it takes too long. Me and Sean tried to do a Twitch stream where we played a baseball video game and he called the games, and we couldn't play a video game. That's how long it takes to play baseball. Is we were like, oh god, this is taking fucking forever. There it is. There's our branding. Yes, Kate Toomey, you are the drama. Sal Romano, guys. You'll never know about the magic of the Wootenanny Bombers baseball team. Pretty magical stuff. Kate Toomey. Okay, hi Matt. You are the drama. Congratulations on your job. Do we think that you can reach all the way down to your own boots to lick them? We're taking bets while we wait for this meeting to start.
Jury's out. Yeah, what is actually going on with this meeting? What the hell?
I bet they're making speeches.
They all have to make Ukraine about them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they asked Sarai to make some quick comments.
I was just about to say that. It's like, how can you make a war on foreign soil about yourself? Sarai Rivera will put on the masterclass in how to make that about yourself.
And there's
It's
somebody
also
just
very
holding up her
possible
fossil behind her.
tonight is also the first night tonight they're doing Zoom too, so it's very possible we have technical issues as well.
Oh,
Oh,
wait. We should.
Jenna Knight is our viewer on Facebook. Jenna, Kate said a lot of bad stuff. If I'll try and I'm trying to put the Twitch comments up on this screen so you can see them as well. Kate, if you know Kate Toomey, please let me know in the comments. We might want to get some info from you.
I wonder if it has started and they just aren't properly broadcasting it because of the new platform. Now I'm doing a little bit of internet research, little sleuthing to see if this meeting has actually adjourned. Because I'm on borrowed time, guys. At 7:30, I have to go hunt the poop thing.
It's too important for you to hold off on.
I bought a shotgun and multiple cases of hollow tip shells, hoping that I can eviscerate the poop thing with shrapnel. But if that doesn't happen and the poop thing lives, then he's coming for you and he's going to get you poopy.
Yeah, the meeting is in fact live.
It's happening?
It is.
It is via Zoom. I don't.
So.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But don't they still need to broadcast it? I feel like.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe they figured that part out.
So, Brendan,
weren't they on Zoom 2 weeks ago?
Walk us through how you found the meeting, because I have just been trying. And
I just sent you the link in the private chat there.
Did you find it on the city's website or?
It was actually in our good friend Mike Benedetti's weekly roundup for the meeting.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good read. Everyone should subscribe to that.
But there are people talking. I assume it's the meeting. I didn't see any counselors. I saw concerned citizens discussing things of trivial importance.
Oh God, we're missing the best stuff.
What? Now you have to enter your email and shit to watch it? What the fuck is this?
Are they really not broadcasting on Facebook anymore? What the fuck?
Maybe that's the issue.
I just gotta. No, they're on. It's on the Facebook. Hold on. Stand by. Wow. I guess
Candy looks very animated right now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Is she yelling at somebody?
Oh God, guys, we need to get this up.
It is. Travis has it up now. It looks like.
Yeah, Travis, can we get a little sound on that? Maybe. If not, I will send the Facebook.
Oh man, we're rusty. We are rusty.
Guys, this has been a rough. I mean, a great stream. One of the best streams we've ever had. It's had almost zero city council content, but
it doesn't get any better than this.
Unprofessional. If we're being unprofessional.
Thanks, Jack.
On the phone as well as electronic devices.
I feel a lot better now that you said that, Jack.
Encourage them to raise their hand, or if you're on the phone, press *9 so we can recognize you. And I'll start with the phone numbers. For the phone numbers,
we missed the in-person comments. This is
press *6 so you can start being unmuted.
That's a shame.
Shit.
The first phone number I can identify is 413.
Shit.
1075. I'm going to unmute you now.
Listen, we got to save this night. Somebody call it and say a swear.
Okay.
Joe Petty, will you join me in my quest to hunt the poop thing?
Send the invite to unmute you now if you want.
I really don't like that we just get this splash screen during the call-in period. I feel like we should be able to see the faces of the counselors.
Yeah,
it's true.
Please say your name.
It's absolutely true.
City of residence.
Kevin.
Yeah, Jessica, we have all decided for nebulous reasons that no one will quite understand that masks just don't exist anymore.
To remind folks, I know you have
and just don't think about it.
Session today. I just want to remind everybody that the Diversity Office and the Diversity Inclusion Committee has spent the past 3 years working on civil service, and back in December voted to ask the city to remove the police and the fire department out of civil service. lot of us put in time through the years, testifying at the different meetings. I know the Black and brown communities in Worcester have raised the concern.
This is an issue that I need to
regularly
learn
about
more
the lack
about.
of diversity at the fire department and within the police department. I think most of you probably know that Auburn left civil service recently.
Here on the stream, we're horny for
So I just
Nico.
want to flag that for you all. So it just feels we really need to settle that before
Somebody make a
contracts get
Nico
signed
tribute
and
video.
kind of we get into a weird situation.
And yes, I
and
mean
stuff.
that
So
kind of tribute
Just wanted to
video.
flag that for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next speaker who's on the line is 508-981-6898. I've asked you to be unmuted. If you want to press *6, if you want to be able to participate during public participation.
Yeah, I need to. I understand in the abstract the point of organizers like Kevin
Okay, now to hear
with
from
the
that
civil
calling
service
user, we're
exam,
gonna move on to folks with
but I don't
electronic devices.
know enough to speak on
Next
that.
speaker can identify as Andrew
I
Romano.
don't know
I'm gonna
the
try to
merits of
unmute
staying in civil
Andrew
service
now.
or getting out of it, and I should do my homework on that because that's been an issue for a while.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Mr.
Yeah.
I
I don't understand. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah,
And,
no
confuses
comprehend.
me.
Yeah.
Okay, not hearing from Mr. Romano. We're gonna move on. To the next
Yeah,
calling user.
we can't have a
Next
mask
speaker is
mandate
Elaine.
or
I'm gonna
there's a
ask you
war
to
going
unmute
on.
now.
Yeah. How are
Damn
we
it.
supposed to stand with Ukraine when we can't even stand out
these-
from under the boot on our necks?
Friggin'
the-
face diapers.
Okay, not hearing from Elaine. We're gonna move on to the next speaker.
Oh, that is interesting.
Next speaker is
I did
Katie
catch
A.
that.
I'm gonna ask you to unmute you now.
They're trying to scare people from
Actually participating.
yeah.
Okay, not hearing from that calling.
So
Well, you gotta
ditching
get
civil
yourself-
service
The next call-in number
helps with
774-261.
diversity of the department.
I'm gonna unmute you now. You have
I
to
think
press
it
star
is
six
the
to be
idea.
unmuted.
It's a real mixed bag, Bill. I mean, it's the civil
Hi.
service is a flawed system, but it's a very
All right,
difficult
sorry,
system
Mom.
to game. But it definitely does not favor.
This is Elaine Bethlehem. I live in Worcester, and I would like to speak about item 10B. Councilor Bergman presented that item. I think it's a great idea. Some of you know I'm very.
There you go, Matt.
Walking around her house while she
I think those
Elaine
of us
thinks
who
it's a
live
great
in
idea.
the
Yeah, with a
city
corded telephone.
We know what's going on. I think zoning is very important. I know in our neighborhood,
yeah.
a single family home was purchased, was torn down, and 4 units were put up. in
We need
place.
stronger single family.
4 units. Oh no.
and all those families were a quarter as wealthy as the one that lived in the single.
We must
family
have-
home.
Yes, zoning.
We need martial
Knowing the
law to
neighborhood
prevent
is
that from
very
happening.
important, and anything else that those of us in the neighborhood can do to make it a better place.
I think,
That should
Bill,
happen.
there have been
have
communities that have chased down civil service or removing civil service as a way to increase diversity. Have found the exact opposite has happened because it allows for a greater degree of nepotism. If you don't
That's
have-
exactly what I would assume would happen. That's like the
And-
intent. The spirit of it was to prevent that, right?
I mean, Kevin using Auburn as an example
Thank you.
probably isn't the best way to approach things, considering
Yeah.
the demographics of
Mr. Mayor, the
Auburn.
next speaker is Eleanor
Auburn,
Briggs.
a famously diverse and
I'm gonna
free
try to
of
unmute Eleanor
towny
now.
nepotism place.
Right. But the point Maine South Mom is making is the valid one, that the system itself, from a testing
Okay, not
perspective,
hearing
is
from
inherently
Eleanor.
flawed.
Mr. Mayor, I think that concludes
Right,
public
but
participation portion.
That's
Okay. Thank you.
racial disparities that you can quantify,
Next is executive session.
Correct.
We'll come back
whereas
in a
crony
minute to
hiring is a
We're
lot
gonna do
harder
our
to
petitions,
quantify
8A
racial
to 8B,
disparities,
we're gonna refer
but
to
I
the
don't think
planning
it's going to
board.
be any better.
8C and 8D, we're going to refer to Public Works. 8D to 8G, we're going to refer to
Yeah, that
traffic and
lady
parking.
was exactly what I was talking about when I was talking about how single family
8K
zoning
and 8I,
needs to go
we're gonna refer
for Worcester to
public
develop
hearing for
and
March
become
8th,
inclusive, and that is
2022.
exactly the
goes
resistance you're going to
collectively.
face.
All those in
People
favor?
talking about how the
Aye.
neighborhood's
Go for it.
changing. Who cares?
8M, Kyle Gomes, request city council.
Neighborhood's
request
gonna
city
change
manager
after you
request
die,
city
old
works and
lady.
parks establish
Yeah,
a
right.
master plan for Pacillo.
Get busy.
Parcel of land located at 149 West Boylston Street. Manager, Kyle
Boo
Gomes.
doo doo
Council
doo
requests
doo
the manager
doo.
requests, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks review the recommendations from Indian Lake walk audit sponsored by the Indian Lake Community Association. I'll send that to the manager. Michael Grandone, request city council, request city manager, mandate all department heads to submit to him a list of various machinery, computers, devices, etc. within their departments to be placed upon a list of scheduled viable inspection.
Oh yeah,
as
that's
conducted
his
maintenance
election suit,
recorded
baby.
basis for forefront of corrective repair.
I love how
replacement,
everyone just
breakdown
fell in
tax.
line
Send that to the manager.
after
Collectively,
Petty
those in favor.
official announced.
Councilmember
Yeah,
David
what
LaBeouf
was the
like,
what-
oh,
Sorry, I don't have.
What was the deal? Like, what
item
actually? How'd that
numbers in
help
front
play
of me,
out? Because
but,
I wasn't really paying attention,
we
to be
could
honest. with you.
send the,
hold on.
um,
So Matt, I think that in reading the language of that order, you're dead right. But in looking at who filed it and who just spoke in favor of it, it's the exact opposite, right? Like this is going to be a tool that single family zone neighborhoods are going to use to keep it that way, basically. Kind of a deep play, I would say, but not necessarily a vehicle for righteous progress. Mo Bergman would never file something that could become a vehicle for righteous progress.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the city manager. Lots of discussion over 149 West Boylston Drive. My understanding is that
Your
Yeah,
instincts were right.
I think that is designed to preserve the sanctity of our 90% white home ownership, single family home neighborhoods.
So I'm not sure
As
how
God
that
intended.
works.
As God intended. Because without that, Worcester's
So
just
I'm
really a
wondering-
shithole.
I'm wondering if we should send it
Here in,
to the
yeah,
Parks Committee.
we hate being a
those
city,
items
and we hate
would
the city
also
aspects of our
be
city here
sent
in
to
Worcester,
administration.
and we'd rather just ignore them.
There's some questions from the neighborhood about that this is really has been left in limbo for a
I
long
love it.
time. But I know that there has been some discussion. So if we could do it that way, I think it gives us a.
Oh, guys, I made it past the Citizen Advisory Council for the Affordable Housing Board of Trustees and for the Tree Commission. I think I'm the only person who has applied to the Tree Commission because they
I
were
might have
like,
to apply with you, Bill.
yeah, we're gonna bring back the Ents.
So we have some
We're gonna make the forest
to,
sentient again.
communication of the appointment of Anthony
But
Del
now I
Valle
have an interview with some
zoning
city
board of
hall
appeals.
staffer
Anthony, thank
on
you for your
March
service.
11th for both
Communication of the
jobs.
appointment of
So
Michael
we'll see
Duda
how that goes.
to constable. Michael, thank you for your service. And
The Tree Lord, Bill Shaner.
I am.
communication of the appointment of Lovo.
I'm gonna be so authoritarian.
He's the Lorax.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Since Bill brought it up, anyone that doesn't follow Nerd of the Rings on YouTube, incredible
Those in
channel
favor,
if you like to
opposed,
get
so
really,
voted.
really deep in Tolkien lore.
Next is
Oh,
recommended
well,
appointment
yeah.
of
I was thinking
Fantastic.
you may have just summoned Molly Cronin into the internet. I don't know. We'll see if she shows
Such
up.
a good channel.
Nathan, thank you for your service. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
The executive session is about
Councilor GA?
Yes.
civil
Councilor King?
service and bargaining
Councilmember
with
Carlson?
the
Councilor
police
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
department
Councilor Rose?
contracts.
Councilor Russell?
You gotta go into
Yes.
executive session.
me?
Somebody
Yes.
might say
Mayor
something
Pro-
racist.
Oh wait, sorry. I'm sorry.
Recommended
Firefighters,
appointment
not
of
police.
Boma
Hmm.
Marco to the advisory committee of the status of women.
One of these days, this is going to be me.
Appreciate it. Roll call.
Appoint Bill Shaner to the Tree Commission.
Councilor
Yes.
No,
GA?
no, no, no.
Councilmember Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
You got
Councilor
you got
Rose?
3 yeses
Councilor Russell?
guaranteed, and then a
Councilor
couple of
Toomey?
them might
Mayor
have
Pro-
forgotten who you
Yes.
are.
We'll go back
Yes,
to
hell yeah.
executive Session. The city council.
So that could
convened
you
an
could get
executive session
5.
At the March 1st, 2022 meeting for the purpose of discussing strategy. with
They're
respect to
going into
contract
executive session
negotiations
now?
with IAFF Local 1009, which the firefighters and the city council will reconvene in open session. So we'll go to the executive session now.
What?
Roll call.
Weed.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Caloria?
I told
Yes.
So GI.
Okay, so hold on.
Something.
I'll answer the favorite type of tree
Roll call,
question in a second, but this is
Councilor
really annoying.
Councilor Guerra.
So executive
Councilor
session
Rose.
is basically like the
Russell.
cameras get turned off.
Councilor Toomey.
Yes.
Mayor Petty.
Yes.
And Petty likes me. That's cool.
They go into chambers, right?
They go into chambers, so the cameras get turned off, and now they're going to meet with like the firefighter union's lawyers. But typically, they'll do this either at the beginning or the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking weird that they didn't get to any of the orders or anything. And the thing about executive session is there's no time limit, right? Like this could go on for 5 minutes. This could go on for like 2 hours. So
It's true.
we have no idea whether or not they're going to come back.
Ooh, 2 and a tell. City council fits. Those are some Lukes.
Does Petty actually like me?
I'm sure he does.
Is that like that's
Why wouldn't he?
One time he told my parents they should be proud of me. And I was
Wow.
like, he definitely doesn't know who I am.
Wow.
There he is.
That is such a disturbing Photoshop.
I don't like that at all. Do not approve.
I am deeply, deeply disturbed by that. Why the hell are they doing this in the middle of the meeting? That's so
Why are
weird.
they
trying to
taking their
dissuade
time
us.
getting in there?
They're trying to get us to
It's
stop.
because you got them to call in and tell them to go fuck themselves.
There's always been a cop at city council. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a detail.
Well, she's it's her sibling in arms now. Yeah, they have to get out there before Bill gets down there.
Yeah. Each city councilor is a progressively harder boss to defeat. And then the poop thing is the boss you defeat
Bill, are you concerned that if you shoot the poop thing multiple times with a shotgun, that all the pieces that break off of it will turn into poop things, like autonomous poop things of their own?
I had considered that poop thing would be driven back into the night where like some sort of nebulous intelligence would reassemble more poop. I hadn't considered the alternative that poop thing turns into a lot of little poop things, in which case we're getting into some really dangerous territory here, because you could swallow one of those motherfuckers and not even know it, right?
Yeah, and then you become a thing poop thing.
Yeah, it's like Peacemaker, you swallow a little bit of poop and then you're controlled by the poop alien race. But yeah, so I guess did any kind of compliment you? Oh, I don't remember.
I remember Ed calling you an outdoor cat.
That's what it was.
That was very funny.
The best thing that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I just tell people about that all the time.
It was
like, who are both of those people?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like yeah. So and
yeah, what?
But
your friend is a cat.
It was a pretty good little bit of dry humor on it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
But yeah, so I met with the Citizen Advisory Council, and Jenny asked me what my favorite tree was. So I told her that my favorite tree was a willow tree, and that we don't have enough willow trees in Worcester, so we should go to the neighboring towns, steal them, and replant them in Worcester. And I got a couple of the Citizen Advisory Council members to laugh. And then Gerardo Schiano told me that my powers on the tree commission would be confined by the law. And I was
now
put in my place.
Boring.
And I will say that as an authoritarian, the law is only a concern of mine insofar as it suits me, and where it doesn't, I will be doing my best to violate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Where in the law does it say that you can't rehome trees?
I don't know. That's just what he said.
Yeah.
Who owns the trees?
Yeah.
Right.
Can't
right.
steal something that nobody owns.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So just plant them wherever the hell.
Yes, please. Actually, let's leave this up. I want this up the whole time. Just see these fucking cops hang out.
Look at this power. Who is that sitting like that? That's standing like that, rather.
Yeah.
Is that Nico?
No.
God,
That-
no.
You only stand like that when you're talking about like a deal you got on a car lease or something, right? Like you should check out the deal I got on this Ford Escapade. I tell you, they wanted 35, but I talked them down. I talked them right down. I got them down to 29. Got them down to 29. I'll tell you, they were just begging for me to take that car at the end of that thing. Yeah.
Five under asking. Five under asking.
Five under asking.
They threw in the undercoat.
In with the supply chain, with the microchips, 5 under asking, unheard of. Unheard of. But yeah, this is an incredibly annoying thing that the city council is doing right now. It's almost like they don't care if people are watching or can respect their time.
Mm-hmm. That is true. He was finding his light, as they say on the stage.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It seems to have frozen.
Yeah, they caused some sort of disturbance. There's too much sex appeal on the camera, and it disrupted the feed.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
It's a real shame. It's always happening to me.
That's what happens when my audio is bad on the stream. It's because my voice is so sexy that the computer can't handle it.
Yeah, it's got to shut down before it can even process it.
Right. right.
So willow tree is your favorite type of tree?
Yes, it is.
That's a good tree.
It's just big and nice and majestic. And
I like them because they do the same thing that I do. Weep.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I woke up this morning and like one of the first things that I consumed was a video of a rocket flying into like a Ukrainian government building in like the old district that Russia promised not to rocket. And I was like, this is fucking good times,
Oh, did you hear the other good news? When they were trying to take down the TV tower in Kyiv, and they hit the Holocaust memorial where people were standing and killed them.
Oh, that's great. Talk about denazifying Ukraine, am I right?
Talk about war crimes.
Yeah. It's really cool that the most significant specter of nuclear war being raised since the first dropping of an atom bomb is in the country where there is the hot nuclear reactors still smoldering that could be reawakened and forever doom the planet into a climate holocaust. So that's just great, but
we're keeping it spicy in 2022.
Can't do it. Yeah. Like I was listening to someone on some podcast was cracking me up because they were like, no one's even under the illusion that this is going to be a good year. Like no one's thinking 2022, that's our year, baby. It's like it has all the worst parts of 2020 and 2021. And just wait until the Democrats lose the House and the Senate. And we have another wave of COVID in November. And there is legitimate terrorist insurgency groups in the Eastern Bloc that are provoking U.S. intervention. That's going to be cool. We're really running for it, full steam. Strap up.
The best story that I've kind of glommed onto was the grandmother confronting the soldier with the sunflower seeds. That's my favorite story of the week, just because it's so brutal. And like some people get the paraphrasing, they just turn it down, but if done correctly, it's just wonderful. People go read the story.
Yeah, it's cool. That a lot of the what's this? Oh, bad times.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. Mayak. I didn't know about Mayak. That's
they went into executive session. Public comment happened. And we're going to be sitting here.
Roe v. Wade gets next. That's another cool one.
Yeah, all that stuff is going down. There's this anti-trans thing in Texas is already starting to have real effects. The other states are passing bills that you can't mention homosexuality in schools at all, or it's a misdemeanor crime.
But it rhymes and sounds cute. Don't say gay. So it I don't know, maybe it'll work.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. So it's good. Everything's good.
You know what? That is a best. The state of the world right now, and its ever increasing misery, is the best reason possible that you can just focus on Worcester and try to make our little city in Massachusetts a better place, because that is something real, intangible, that you can be involved in, and you're not just passively watching the world burn with no agency whatsoever. Oh, on that note, to prove a point, I haven't said this publicly yet because I'm going to get excoriated. But to prove a point, I bought stock in Raytheon on Friday. And I'm already up 16%, baby.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's a good return.
Yeah. I bought stock in Lockheed Martin. I'm up 16%. Made $64 off that shit.
You'd be doing better with Bitcoin, Bill. I told you.
And BAE Systems, which is the British equivalent to Lockheed and Raytheon, I'm up 16%. In case
the State of the Union started. When's the State of the Union on?
Wait, that's such a good Biden impression. My fellow Americans, the State of the Union just fucking sucks, man.
Hey, Bill, do you know?
Listen.
Did you ever meet Danny, bartender over at the Sahara? Had been there forever. Black hair, glasses. Yeah. So the building you mentioned, the government building, that's Kharkiv. That's where Danny's family's from. Most of his family still lives there.
Wow.
Oof.
That's fucked up. Also, yeah, I know war profiteering isn't cute. I'm fucking proving a point. This is good. This is good for the worst people in the world. You know, it's the evil at the dark heart of capitalism benefits off of this tremendously. But rest in peace, Sahara. I'll tell you that. That's
yeah.
I used to go there after the Soul when I worked at the Soul, and hang out with my coworkers, and it was mostly just like industry people, and it was a fun time.
Me and Connolly used to go there to watch World Cup games all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
What boring story is this guy telling to these other two?
And then, I was at the Ford store, and I was dealing with this real cocksucker, and he said, I can give you 18 months, 0% financing, but I'm not going lower than 3 off the asking. And I said, motherfucker, I'm paying cash, and I want 5 off the asking. That's what he's saying right now. Yeah. God.
Yeah, the other two are just like, oh, holy shit! We need a break in the conversation for 1 minute so you can go. You gotta get going.
The person all the way to the right, standing down, is politely entertaining the conversation. The person to the left, sitting down, is being thoroughly punished and wants nothing to do with it. You can tell by his body language that he wants nothing more than to escape this conversation. But hey, anybody been playing Elden Ring? We got any Elden Ring heads in the chat?
I haven't gotten it yet, but I did just get my Xbox Series X. So
oh, nice. I'm playing it on an Xbox One, and it does not run the best. I would recommend a better system.
Yeah, I really wanted to play that, and I really wanted to play Cyberpunk, so I decided I had to get the new system.
Yeah.
I just played Maneater for Xbox. Maneater was awesome.
Yeah. It's the Hall & Oates game.
Oh, I heard that was good.
Yeah, I was really excited to to play the Hall & Oates game Maneater.
They got the entire soundtrack in there. It was so impressive.
So crazy. Yeah.
I was dancing around my living room.
That's
no. You swim around as a shark and eat fish and swimmers, and
you upgrade your shark.
You become a super mega shark. Yeah, it's great. Fantastic game. Big fan.
That's super cool.
We should do like Twitch streams the way you're supposed to with video games sometime.
We were doing Jackbox streams.
Yeah,
At
we
this
were
point,
doing
I might
Jackbox
boot it
streams.
up.
Wait. What if we tried to build Worcester in like The Sims? Or in like Roller Coaster Tycoon or something like that.
Let's get The Sims and do a house that's all the city council, and we'll just
that's such a good idea.
We'll run it in the background during city council meetings.
Yeah. And it can be like the real world city council.
Oh yeah, you're racing it, Brian. Can you get it installed and boot it up before they get back?
There's not a chance my computer. I have a Mac. I can't run computer games. It'll.
That's why I'm asking you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, Elden Ring, extremely hard. It's an extremely hard game. The first boss that you run into, they put you in a situation where you're wildly underskilled to defeat it, and you just bash your head against the wall. And it took me 50 tries, but when I did, I let out like a barbarian's war cry in my living room. In like the afternoon, like I was just like, nah! And my roommate was taking a nap, and I woke him up, and he wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Did you beat that guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I beat that guy." And he's like, "Good, fuck that guy." I was sick. Yeah, I was like Conan in here, just like letting out like a feral war cry. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Play it. It sounds kind of like dealing with the city council. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no winning with city council though.
Yeah.
It's Sisyphusian.
Yeah, that's true.
I got to run into Brendan in real life this week.
That was exciting. That was like one of the first times I've actually gone out of doors to like a venue in months, and I was uncomfortable with the number of people I kept running into there. That was like not direct. It was nice seeing you, but it was very weird to me. I'm not used to like touching and
same
making real contact with folks.
Well, it was an orgy, so I mean, we both got the invites.
Weird that you guys recognize each other through the masks.
Bill, I have a hunch. It doesn't matter what mask I'm wearing. If I'm not wearing anything else, it's obvious.
You can play that up though with the mask. You know, you can like
really
build a costume around it.
So, serious question in the wake of like us removing the mask mandate. So being like recently having COVID, like if I'm wearing a mask in public, isn't that like the ultimate form of like isn't that the most performative thing I can do at this point? Like I'm literally the one person it doesn't matter for anymore in this one moment in time. Maybe like 2 months from now, it'll definitely matter, but
possibly. Yeah. But yeah, it depends. I think it's unclear how long your immunity lasts after Omicron. There is some data that suggests it's as little as 2 to 3 weeks. But yes, for any other variant, yeah. Possibly. There will be. I am very sorry.
Yeah. And way before fall, too. We should be seeing that in another month and a half if things stick to the 2-month cycles that they've been working on since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, that we haven't sufficiently grappled as a culture or as a society with the fact that this is going to be the rest of our lives. Like this is not, there's no normal to which we will return. This is it, baby.
You guys are
you don't have to make it sound like the rest of our lives is some extended period of time. Like that could actually be like middle of next week. The way things are going.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Putin is baiting everybody into attacking him so he can start a world war. And we're only gonna hold off for so long. You know that eventually like people, Ashton Kutcher will say that we should go in, and then the tide will turn.
Dude, that's so true. It's going to be exactly like that.
Well, so Europe pulled back their offer, knowing that it's escalating things. Their offer of jets, didn't they just pull that off the table today?
Oh yeah.
We're on the fucking precipice.
It is funny how like it's like we can't actually like go in and defend you guys. We can't fight because if we actually like kill any Russian soldiers, that's direct conflict. And then we're at war. But we can give you every gun we got, and you use them. You guys use them,
right?
And that's totally, Russia will be fine with that.
Yeah. And that's why I invested in Raytheon Technologies, a proud Massachusetts-based company that seeks to benefit tremendously off of an ever-worsening global conflict. But no, there's no way around it. It's fucking heavy and depressing and dark, and all day.
Go ahead.
The thing that's really, really cool that Ukraine decided to do with all the guns is they're just passing them out to people.
Yeah, fuck yeah, and giving them to prisoners.
Yeah, which is going to be that's going to be really, really good. Once that's
the bit that I was trying to like wrap my brain around.
Yeah,
just walking down the street and getting handed an AK.
Yeah, once the insurgencies sort of coalesce and metastasize, they're going to be able to pick up a lot of guns really quickly. And with guns come power.
Yet it's not Mo Bergman, but
this podcast will be sponsored. The Worcester Sucks and I Love It is now sponsored by Raytheon. It's our only ticket off this hellhole, and they will invent the first rocket to Mars that actually works, and that's how we're getting out of here. Invest in Raytheon.
They're better future. At making things go boom.
Raytheon should just change their slogan to like the end is nigh, right? Like invest in Raytheon, the end is nigh. It's like that Applebee's commercial that played over the air raid sirens on CNN. Wild. It was like they didn't even bother to cut away from the stream of like Ukraine imminently being bombed. It was just like, and a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night.
But you remember the song, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people saw it, and I don't think the people that saw it liked it that much. But the farther we get away from it, the movie Elysium is just 100% what is going to happen.
I haven't seen that one.
It's about rich people building a space station just off Earth to go live, and then they leave the rest of us behind to fight over the dying planet Earth. They won't even go to another planet. They'll just sit in view of us and have everything they could ever want and just continually strip the country, the world of anything that's left. And
then we'll have like gladiatorial combat reality TV shows where the winner gets to go to the space colony.
Yeah, except they don't actually go. They just get,
they get disappeared.
They get emulsified.
Yeah, right.
This is why I've been saying for a while, the smart money is you get in early on building Elon Musk's colonies on Mars. Like, yes, it's one-way trips. You're leaving everyone behind, but you're going to die down here in misery. Why not die up there away from the misery? It's like a different kind of misery, but like I'll catch up on books in my downtime.
Yeah, but you'd have to talk to people that like Elon Musk, and that is a fate worse than death.
Whatever. True.
He's just a freaking guy. He's just some freaking guy.
We've seen the Elon Musk fans. I'm not even getting into what you feel about him. We've seen his defenders on Twitter. Don't want that's like strong, like gray suit guy energy.
Yes.
Oh, true.
Look at that. He's telling, hey, listen, the thing is, he could have got those kids out of that tunnel. He could have done it. If they just let him do it, he could have done it. So it's right for him to call the guy that actually saved the kids pedophiles. So executive session is where they practice what they're gonna say to us out here and kind of all get on the same page together.
But in front of legal counsel, so they don't violate any laws or statutes.
Yes.
Executive session is like a private meeting that you can use for contract negotiations. So they're in an executive session meeting right now with the fire department's union representation to work out some details of a contract. State law allows you to do that in private because it hurts your bargaining position to have that process be subject to public scrutiny. There are minutes. So if you're a real nerd, you can go back and read the minutes after I have done that. I don't really know what is going on with that. It is not an issue that I've paid a whole lot of attention to. The fact that the firefighters are meeting in executive session with the city council today is not in and of itself newsworthy. It doesn't indicate that there's some sort of drama going on, but I'm sure that the reworking of the fire department and the idea of putting like a fire official that is in the city manager's cabinet that is more powerful than the chief has ruffled some feathers in the fire department. I think that's sure to say, but you know what?
They're probably going to scold them, all the firefighters, for having fake vax cards. So that's maybe a long conversation.
They weren't sexy enough in the last calendar. They need to be more sexy.
You know what I like about the Worcester firefighters is their commitment to the mustache game. You ever seen any of those guys like out and about? They have some absolutely stunning handlebars going.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's a cool part of firefighter culture where they're probably just all like talking about how sick their mustaches are starting to look and shit like that. I think that's cool. I'm
talking about different waxes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta wax that thing.
Yeah.
So Bill, you're leaving to fight the poo monster here in a minute, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving in 3 minutes. I gotta go shoot the poop monster with shotgun shells. Yeah. No, I have a writing meeting for a project that I cannot yet reveal, but is going to be very exciting if I get to the point where I can talk about it. So that is
a graphic novel about the poop thing.
Yeah, not too far off. Not too far off at all.
It's manga about the poop thing.
Yeah, it's actually a hentai.
So you have to read it backwards.
Yeah. Right. You also have to touch yourself backwards. I'll let you figure out how to do that. But yeah, I so as far as the rest of this meeting goes, before I sign off, I don't know, man. I don't know when they're coming back out of this. There's no way to know. And they didn't finish the meeting. There's a lot of stuff that they didn't talk about yet. And it's really wild that they took this executive session in the order that it appears on the agenda and not either before the public meeting or after the public meeting, so as not to waste the public's time. It's pretty fucking insulting thing to do, honestly. And if there's a reason for it, I don't know the reason.
I mean, probably so people would, they're like, well, we have to do this anyways. Let's just do it up front and then no one will pay attention. After.
Yeah.
And that's a slight benefit for them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that I have to leave you guys, but let me know if anything funny or cool happens or
best of luck finding the poop monster.
Yeah.
Yes. Send up a flare if you get into too much trouble.
I will.
You'll join us again if you kill him and bag him.
I'll just come back covered in shit.
Yeah.
And like blood. I've got like a Rambo freaking.
We've had more viewers since they went off than
that's so funny.
So it's not working, whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know. But I wish that they wouldn't do this.
We appreciate your bravery in the face of the poop thing. We strongly encourage people to listen to your podcast. Worcester's Good But Hurts. It's the best.
Thank you.
Subscribe to your Bill Substack. Worcester Sucks and I Love It. A great post today about the union fight. So get in on that and let Bill do more of his great work, which is secret right now.
Yes, secret work in the works. Great. Well, guys, have a great rest of the stream. Thank you, Crafty Kombucha. And if I come back to the stream covered in shit, then you know that the deed has been done.
We await your arrival.
Godspeed.
Wow, there he goes, everybody.
Our hero.
Defender of Worcester. Yeah, they're probably. I mean, we literally. I mean, I don't know. We have 30 viewers right now. Oh my god! Now he's leaning in front of me, showing them
family pictures.
Listen, you got. I had to argue with them for a while, but they put on the 30-inch tires, and they call them new shoes.
New boots. I'm new boots goofing. Can you believe she let me touch her there?
Who was he talking to? Do we know who those two people are? Yeah.
Somebody said before they're from Homeless Outreach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he looks like a bad detective in a USA.
Yeah, it's either
serial drama,
law enforcement, or insurance of some kind.
There you go.
Oh, it is Dr. Castile. She's very.
Oh, Jess needs some cake. I got to go bring Jess some cake. Jess's birthday was the other night, everybody. Everybody wish Jess a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jess.
Yeah. She got
Worcester local cryptid. I just dealt with this too, where I got rejected because I bought the cheap ones, and apparently you have to buy the $60 a pop ones, or else they're not approved by Worcester Fire Department.
For what? CO2
fire detectors. Yeah, fire and CO2 detector combinations. Pain in the butt.
It's fun. It's fun to.
The guy that came and inspected it couldn't have been nicer. He told me all these stories about his kids that I didn't ask for, but it was fine. I mean, I just put up some fire, and then I put one in the wrong place, and he let me move it in the middle of the inspection. I'm just trying to sell the damn house.
You just got just trying to. The only guy trying to sell a house in Worcester right now.
It's because I can't afford to buy now. So now I'm just chilling here in Tatnick.
Wait for that sweet, sweet market to drop, and then you're in, baby.
Spanking something, sneaking my way in.
Yeah.
No, I do miss homeownership. Renting compared to homeownership is it's pretty lame. I just want to be able to do things, and I don't know, like fix things, and I can't.
You can come over to my place and fix things anytime.
That is the answer I keep getting, Brendan.
Yeah. Please. It's fun, once every few days I just break a light in my house just because I can.
I mean, that's just to show how useful you are to Jess. You're like, look,
I haven't fixed any of them. No. I can't.
She keeps cutting herself on them. They're just broken light bulbs all over the place.
It's dark as hell in here.
I got a cut on my right hand that just won't heal.
Travis, have you used the axe? People want to know.
Yeah, you can see it's all covered with blood.
Yeah. I have not used the axe. The axe was found, so it's rusty.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've thrown it a couple times, but I've never used it to actually chop wood. I have a maul for that.
Mm-hmm.
I've used the shit out of the slide level. And then this was my ceremonial machete from when I did the 508 show that Mr. Brendan Melican bestowed upon me.
You too can be a guest and get your own machete.
Ooh.
Are you guys recording again?
No. I'm
gonna go bring Jeff some cake. I'll be right back, everybody.
Yeah, take your time.
So were we saying Brendan once in a while?
We haven't in ages. No, it's probably been like a year now. Eventually we'll get back to it. No, we did it a couple over the summer, I think. Schedule's just been a mess, and we had been recording down at the cable access station down there, and it was just getting weird with tight spaces indoors and whatnot. So
yeah, they put you guys in that closet that they call.
It's literally a closet. Yeah. But yeah, we'll get back to it sooner or later. Yeah.
Seltzer Time's getting back to work this next week. Next Monday is our first show back.
Oh, no kidding. Who do you have on?
We're having
secret or?
Chris Michelotti. He's a local organizer. He's doing a bunch of events over at Electric Haze.
Got it.
It was more, he's a homie, and it's our first time coming back. And
it's easier that way.
Little reveal of this is what the Seltzer Time layout's going to look like. But we're going to do it right here on Twitch.
Fantastic.
Super excited for that. So it'll be conversations with me and Ricky Nelson, local goofball.
Legendary Ricky Nelson.
We're talking. We're going to get you on the show as soon as you're ready to announce that you guys are back open and running.
Yeah, no, I mean we'll definitely do that. It'll happen soon enough.
I'm doing some work with Sustainable Comfort, a local developer, and I got to have a Simjang wing tonight. I got to have one of the Simjang wings from Jared because they're doing a private event for their annual meeting.
Fantastic.
And now I only got to get one, and I wish I grabbed a whole bowl full, and I'm sitting here starving and not knowing that this thing can go into who the hell knows how late.
Yeah. Jess, we would ask Bryan, but Bryan left and he's with you now. So maybe you could ask him about it and you can tell us.
Bless Hayes.
This is awful. I can't believe they're doing this.
Our unconscionable Pink Floyd takes. I don't know what that reference is. That's mostly Ricky. Yeah, Simjang. Yeah, it was delicious. Same here. Yeah, I had one piece and it was so friggin' good. They're gonna do more pop-ups over at Dead Horse. I realized that Bryan left, so I have to do. Oh,
look at that! You're making the world a worse place.
That's interesting.
It wasn't bad enough.
That's interesting. I'd like to hear more, Troubler.
What can we learn about Terrible Seltzer, Bryan?
Just did a review of blueberry lemonade seltzer Polar's.
Was it the seltzer or the Seltzerade?
The Seltzerade.
Yeah, those all taste like garbage.
Yeah.
Licking the bottom of the can has more flavor than the actual product.
I'll have her try that. Just lick the bottom of the can and let us know what you think. Peach seltzer. I'm not a seltzer guy. This is why they rarely have me on the show because I just take the opportunity to trash all seltzer.
Kombucha. Yeah. How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, give it up for our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha, everybody. Ginger lime was my favorite one, I believe, is of the ones I've had from Matt. What was the one with honey? The one with honey was incredible too. I hope I'm not misremembering all these flavors. Charles, what's your favorite flavor of kombucha?
There was a blueberry one that Matt gave me a little while back. He told me it was the most approachable. As somebody that doesn't do a lot, I don't drink much, so elderberry honey. I don't drink much, so it was good to have. It was more like tea. It was more like a funky tea.
Blueberry lemon. Yummy.
It was fantastic, Matt.
Cucumber mint seltzer. My favorite seltzer? A nice Diet Coke.
I went to the grocery store recently and saw that they've transitioned one of my favorite sodas, Fresca, into a sparkling water. Now it's being billed as grapefruit sparkling water.
Huh. Oh, so words just mean nothing.
Nope. Yeah. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
I'm just not I don't know. Seltzer tastes like metal to me.
Like metal?
Yeah, well, no, not cool like that. When we were growing up, my grandfather called everything tonic. but then he also would drink like tonic and quinine water sometimes, and so I just can't like.
Yeah, can you imagine how terrible like food and beverage must have been when our grandparents were born? That like by the time they died, like Tab was like a flavorful, wonderful experience, right? Like we're so spoiled with our sugar and
it's true
multiple choices and bubbly things.
I think that part of me thinks that COVID developed as a way to get back at us for having too much flavor in society.
Yeah,
we have
onions
so
and
many
Tab
flavors.
are all you need.
Right. 1 cup of or 1 spoonful of sugar is all you want.
Yeah. Back when I was growing up, we didn't have all these crazy flavors. Everything when I was growing up was either pizza or s'mores flavored.
Like an American should.
Yeah, we liked it.
My mom chose to stop buying soda for the house because it was too sugary, and then she started buying Kool-Aid. So there you go.
That's not sugary. That's sugar. So it's different.
Yeah,
technically she's right.
The same, like if you do it, it's a 1-to-1 comparison for sugar intake. And then she got like the concentrated ones from the freezer. No different. Same amount of sugar.
Yeah.
She tried, and I love her for it.
But she's a fucking idiot. No seltzers for me, but I will crush some orange dry.
Oh, orange dry all day.
Yeah.
Really Canadians were delicious. Big fan.
I feel the need to strongly evangelize for orange dry because one of my favorite podcasts is Doughboys, which is a podcast about chain restaurants, and they talk about like snacks and all sorts of garbage food all the time. And they talk about Polar because one of them is from Quincy, so he knows Polar from growing up. And now the rest of the country has Polar seltzers. You can get them anywhere, but they don't have all the other Polar things. And so every time they bring it up, I always tell people they're missing out on orange dry, and they get upset because they don't know.
Yeah, it's what orange juice wants to taste like.
Yeah. This is when we make Kool-Aid in my house. We just take a cup of the Kool-Aid mix and then add a few drops of water to it. And then
yeah, really. Oh, I feel you, Air Hadoken. I was at 1 point 300 pounds.
Yeah, I was 300 pounds at 1.2, and then at freshman year of high school, I shot right past it, and I haven't gone down past it ever since.
We used to make the iced tea at my friend's house. It was just called Make More because that's literally what his mom wrote on the side of the jug. But it was like 10 scoops, 12 scoops. It was just sugar and water. Like we're the guy from Men in Black.
More. Oh, they're back in.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Just chilling though.
Yeah, look at Sarai. She's like, hey, remember that guy telling you about that car? Oh, baby, that was a story.
Who's this? Oh, that's Sarai.
Yeah.
New glasses tonight.
She looks like a little bit like an 80s cartoon character from like Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters. Like just glasses, hair, suit.
Turtleneck because the artist doesn't know how to draw a neck. They're hard.
It's hard.
Not outside. No.
She got strong Linda Belcher vibes.
Sorry, it looks like I froze up. Give me a second, guys.
Oh boy. She will. Don't worry. So we got to, let's see. So we got to item 6. So we have a shitload to go. All right, cool. Sick. So next up is a biannual economic development report. So fingers crossed we're getting a PowerPoint.
This will be exciting.
We'll get going, I guess.
Oh, good. Thank you.
We'll get going, I guess.
So we're now back in session. We'll do a roll call.
Councilor Bergman.
Here.
Good.
Councilor Calorio.
Good.
Here.
Councilor Agia.
Here.
Councilor King.
Here.
Councilor Carlson.
Here.
Councilor Nguyen.
Here.
Councilor Rivera. Councilor Rose. Councilor Russell.
Do you think they have protocols if one of them actually
Toomey.
goes missing
Here.
after an executive
Mayor
session?
Petty.
Here. Okay. The
Is
president
this like
comes on at
one of those
9
corporate
o'clock.
fire drill things where they got to
Have a
take
roll.
attendance outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Somebody
They're
get the
trying to
list out.
beat 9 o'clock, guys. Did you hear that?
9.3A.
Is that what they
I
said?
recommend adoption.
The president comes out at about 9, so we have a goal.
Resources department by adding a staff assistant to position. A roll call.
Councilor Bergman.
Yes.
Councilor Calorio.
Yes.
Councilor Agia.
Yes.
Councilor King.
Yes.
Councilor Carlson.
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor Rose. Councilor Russell.
Yes.
Councilor Toomey.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Transmitting information communication of the economic development initiatives.
He's talking
We'll
so
send that
fast.
to ED. You want that? We'll send that to ED.
They're just
All those in favor,
Burning.
opposed, so ordered.
burning.
Transmitting information communication of the housing and neighborhood activities. This is a great report, by the way.
I'm glad you're excited about it, Mr. Mayor.
Let's read it.
People listening want to go online and look at this. It's spelled all the housing programs we're doing that people have talked about. And with the APA money coming, it's even going to be probably
Apper.
even better once the trust fund is filled.
The Apper
So,
money.
okay, so send that to economic development. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Information communication relative to the semi-annual TIF and TIE reporting. Send that to ED. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
That's what the executive session was about.
Communication
It's
relative to
like,
street art and various
everybody-
I'm gonna make this
aspects
faster.
of the city.
keep your fucking mouth
One over there
shut.
is going to be done by mid-March. Ring Street. Oh,
I think this is a
Councilor Rivera.
haircut, Jess.
Councilor Merrill Carlson.
So I want to say thank you. This is really great. And
Oh,
exciting.
boy, here we go.
And appreciate the pictures.
We were doing so good.
Appreciate the pictures. This is really exciting. Like I've talked about before, and I know it's challenging, especially when we're dealing with the
Like
railroad.
she
Very challenging.
looks
and-
like she's in the O.J. Simpson show
but
from
I
a couple
appreciate
years
kind of
ago.
taking that step.
She's like playing a
It
lawyer.
really helps. I mean, it kind of really.
It's
goes along
good.
with
She
a lot
looks.
of what
It's
we
a great look.
talk about.
I'm not shitting on it. It's just very
economic
like
development. You know, we want to be able
specific.
to have like areas that people feel excited about coming and being
Yes.
around. When we talk about health and walkability, when we talk about safety. So this really encompasses
Yeah,
so many
yes,
things. When we, you know,
very
I love how we
April
talked about
O'Neil.
the issue of the lighting. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever walked under some of these underpass, but they're scary, you know, and
Oh, this is the
I think
artistic
one of the
lighting.
things that made me first start looking at this was an elderly woman that was like, I don't know, she was like close to 92, believe it or not, and she still used to walk to the neighborhood meeting in the Green Island
Not time for
area,
bits.
and she
In an
got
hour
me
and 12
thinking,
minutes
she was
before
like, "You ever walk this
Biden
way?
declares
Walk this
war
way,"
on
like, you know,
Russia.
and some of these things, and she really got me thinking about some of this, and so I just really wanted to thank the administration for their work, for presenting this forward, and I'm excited to see this come to pass, pun intended.
Okay. Councilor Merrill
Oh,
Carlson.
boom!
Why is she loud
Yes,
chewing her gum
Mr.
like
Chairman,
that?
just,
Because
wanna
she's
echo the
in an
sentiments
80s
of
movie.
My colleague, I know that this is something that the administration has been working
We're
on.
gonna take a
for
vote
long
on
time.
it.
And I just want to
They
share
are
with
so
him
excited
is
about
that
these light bulbs.
I've gotten so many calls from yesterday, them out there working on the lighting, how excited people were that, oh my God, we're finally gonna light up. And I was honestly pleasantly surprised at how many people really, that's a
You tell
major
us,
deal
Mo.
in this city. And, you know, when you look at the
Or did you not get
areas that they're
invited? Oh,
working on,
fuck,
you know,
sorry, dude.
Madison Street and the Green Street Bridge and the Franklin Street Bridge, which I think will really bring the city, you know, that'll collectively bring everything together. But
This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for.
But I know that,
dramatic lighting.
What we're going to do is even more special in terms of lighting up under the underpass.
Put bright lights up in the sky, and people won't realize that their axle just split in half in the pothole they drove through.
Emails I got on people working underneath the Green Street Bridge. People are really excited. So just wanted to say thank you. And again, glad that it's finally coming to.
I'm sorry, Mo. That's rough.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just very briefly, this really is an exciting project. I think it's going to whet people's appetites for what's possible when they see.
Yeah, it's kind of a perfect city council thing. No actual discernible help to anybody. Nope. But you can take a picture of it, and it looks different than it did before.
In a non-threatening way. That's the most important part.
But the good news is this conversation that we've been having has brought other potential partners. We got a call from Holy Cross.
He's got a huge head, and Big Head's book.
I think it's gotten a lot of people thinking about what's
everyone that's famous has a huge head. Just it's what it is. It's a shortcut to charisma.
Businesses, institutions, others can be part of this. So hopefully that kind of sparks
WHET, because
what their ideas, what their visions, and what the ways
as daddy-ish as Ed Augustus is, he's never made anyone WET in his life.
They can be inviting connections between neighborhoods and areas. So hopefully we'll kind of excite the imagination.
Yeah, or any other number of apps.
Installed. Thank you.
How boring and sad of an imagination do you have to have where like a single light bulb is the thing that sparks your desire for creativity? And
next is recommend the adoption of the order relative to the seal of 146 guarded Memorial Drive.
Yeah, so they knew they needed to do something, and a light bulb went off, and they're too literal, so they they just went with that.
Councilor Carlson.
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor Rose.
So the thing to remember, people, as we get into this election that Joe Petty is running in, he does not have to step down as mayor. He can hold both positions if he wins the race. We're not necessarily doomed to Calorio. I know that it seems crazy that he would have both seats, but it's not a guarantee that he would leave the position. He probably would, I would say, but
transmitting information communication.
There's a chance.
Installation of signage at East Park detailing the hours of operation. Send out to Public Works. All those in favor? Opposed?
It's important. Science.
9.8A, transmitting information communication relative to the construction progress report for the month ending of January 31st, 2022. Want to file this? Motion is to file. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Which one was that they filed?
Police Department 9.
We never get to hear.
They're going so fucking fast.
Homeless population on upper.
Yeah, that's why he can keep it.
At the Public Health, Council Merrill Carlson, followed by Council King.
So, Mr. Chairman, just really want to say to the administration and certainly to all the folks who have worked up in the Lincoln Street area. If we look at this report and we look at that this is 6 months of what we have.
There's no reason to, so it's the only reason that he would is if people complain about it. Which
or he's
no
got
one's
an
going to be paying
incredible sense of humor.
City manager.
Mayor Calorio will be objectively hilarious.
If he steps down and she becomes mayor, I will beat him up. I will go to his house and stand in the street until he comes outside.
Had several meetings up there in the Lincoln Street area, as well as several neighborhoods.
I'd pay to see that, by the way.
That area up there.
Yeah, I'll join you guys on
6
stream.
months ago, you had a lot
fucking
of
finish what you're chewing first, unprofessional piece.
Can you really hear it that much? Damn it! This mic picks up more than I think it does.
You eating some peanut butter?
Plaza that became a place
Maybe
where people went.
It's 6'6". He's this Ed Augustus is the same height as Michael Jordan. Can you imagine that?
And if you look at this report that has been provided tonight,
I'll fight anybody in this city. I don't care. I could kick anyone's ass, including yours, Jack. So watch it.
Health and Human Service Homeless Outreach Team.
Yeah, Google them.
More than 200.
Google me, bitch.
4 individual visits.
Jack, are you asking if Brian can take Robin Kennedy?
Which is
like an arm wrestling
of work. I know because I was up there.
I'll
with
do it.
The chief,
Okay.
the police department.
It doesn't even have to be for charity. I'll just fucking do it.
We were down at
that's
the
a Thursday.
hotel at Oriole Drive. Was a disaster.
Meet me at Vincent's.
That hotel.
Go to my arm wrestling table.
There was a disaster. That hotel has.
I don't know, Brendan. You got any thoughts on this?
Nothing short of being one of our worst places in the city of Worcester.
When Ed Augustus would leave.
People were literally.
I think honestly he's already gone. It's the timeline keeps sliding, right? Like can't leave mid-COVID. Can't leave until like we actually have the baseball park up and running. Like all the things that I think would have been obvious markers for his departure kind of keep getting scooted out into the future.
At that hotel, or whether it was behind the auto.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know a ton about her. She's certainly more exciting than Joe Petty as a candidate.
Guys, people are saying Candy's saying some shit. This is interesting.
Stop and shop. When TJ Maxx talked about moving up there, corporate up there said they weren't sure that they made the right decision going to Lincoln Plaza. If you look at Lincoln Plaza today, thanks to the efforts of this city, our police department, our quality of life team, our homeless outreach team, and many more who have spent a ton of hours up there in the Lincoln Street area. People now are starting to go back to the Targets of the world.
People were never not going to Target because there was unhoused people there. Are you fucking kidding me? It was more busy during COVID than it was before it, since people stopped paying attention to COVID.
It actually was because it was considered a grocery store, so they were allowed to stay open throughout all of COVID. People weren't there buying groceries; they were still buying discount leggings, but
had major problems with what was.
I mean, I was going. That's the only store I was going to. I gotta get my wrestling action figures, baby.
As well as myself and many others.
I literally drive through the area she's talking about every single day. There was a time last year when there was a lot of people like unhoused out there. It's never been an issue. There was never an issue.
We made a decision.
The issue is that people don't like seeing that, and that's
There was one day I remember. It was definitely last spring. I was on the motorcycle at right at the plaza, and there was a couple at the intersection with all of their luggage, and they were having a domestic dispute, throwing the luggage at each other from across the street. But it was basically going over me on the motorcycle. It was the most hilarious thing I've participated in. It was like one of those like old school movie scenes where like wacky Italian girlfriend is throwing all like the boyfriend's belongings out of the 4th floor of an apartment building in Manhattan. Like, yeah, but it was on my head. They were like bras hitting me, and it was amazing.
That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing you pulling a bra off your face mask.
I mean, that's about the extent of it.
And who the hell is Candy Carlson to take that away from me? That like one moment of joy that I had on that side of the city.
That's a lovely Worcester summer day.
Police department was there. When we can look at this and now say
she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that sums it up.
People deserve help. They deserve, whatever services we can provide for them, but they don't deserve the disdain that they get from people like Candy Carlson, the disdain that you hear, just the casual dismissal of their humanity that I see every fucking day on the Burncoat Facebook groups. It doesn't keep pushing them away out of your view doesn't solve the problem. It makes it worse. At least if you can see what the issues are, there's a chance that people are going to get some help. People paying attention to them.
No, I mean, these are the dirtbags that build a beautiful playground over at Coe's Reservoir, and then immediately after build a giant fence around Lakeside Apartments, so you can't access the beautiful playground if you live at Lakeside.
Yeah, burn in hell, Matt Wally.
We're in February.
See you
and we're
never.
looking at 7 different incidents in one little area. Of
There he
Lincoln
is.
Street. So,
This is more pleasant to look at.
You know, I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue with that.
I just don't like the look on his face in that one. That's That's my problem with it.
In all of our departments,
The
The
neck
eyes
roll
are very
really
yellow.
works.
There's some jaundicing going
can
on.
make
It's
a huge difference in this city, and we did that
This is
in
fine.
the Lincoln Street area. Is it perfect up there? No, but just
exactly.
look at the numbers and look at the report and look at the success stories. You know, you go behind, you know, people don't think it's a big deal, but if you go behind Target, when I did months back, I mean, you found a lot of very young folks behind Target doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Obviously.
What? Describe them, Candy.
I want to say
skateboarding.
Yeah.
They were roller skating,
flipping me off.
They were asking me rude questions like, "Why are you asking us questions?"
Yeah. Candy, please explain what you were doing back there.
They were smoking with cigarettes.
King, followed by Councilor Toomey.
Thank you, Mr.
Johanna
Chairman.
Hampton Dance, friend of the show. We're gonna do everything in our power to get her
I know one of the things that,
into that
jumped
seat
out to me,
next
Mr. Chairman,
cycle
from this
if she chooses to run. I hope she does. She did a great job in her first
probably like
campaign.
and others extended their working hours into the night
by
shift.
essentially doing nothing, which was the amazing part. Like the numbers were astounding.
Like there was, yeah. I mean, like she just got her name out there in extremely grassroots ways.
You know, that's not
And I'm interested to hear more about that, Jack. If she's not going to run, then we definitely need to get somebody. She moved. That's right. I forgot about that. All right. Well, I mean, listen, then somebody step up and we'll do what we can. And anything that we can do to support whatever Joanne wants to do next, I think is
and I'm just wondering.
Definitely that's it within our purview is to fuck up anyone else's races too with an actual good candidate.
Reduction in
I can't remember. I thought she said she moved to
911 calls to the hotel.
1 or 5. I think she said it on Facebook.
A certain number of arrests and a certain number of resources.
I'm going to be seeing her tomorrow, so I'll ask her.
Yeah.
Intervention and through this outreach.
Are there any people to watch that you met, Jack, at the award ceremony that might be interested in running for D2?
And
Jack, were your parents proud when you brought them to your people to watch? It was such a nice photo.
How many folks are we talking about that we were?
What was it like being the mayor?
With in terms of outreach, and were those folks that we have characterized or have an understanding of what sort of homelessness that they were experiencing, Mr. Chairman?
Dr. Castillo? Dr. Castillo, you have to come up to the mic.
Some guy kept showing me
Showbiz
his phone.
lady.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm also going to have Evis give you the numbers of all the people that he has housed, but the majority of people that they're seeing certainly have a history of mental health issues and certainly a long history of addiction, which go hand in hand. But just to let you know the amount of people that he has worked with to house. And
I hope he kicked his ass.
That's former city councilor Bill Eddy's son, Brendan. Whose parting gift to District 5 was the Bill Eddy Memorial traffic light at the bottom of Moreland Street, which blocks traffic both to Shrewsbury and Paxton simultaneously.
We got to get Jack one of those extendable like nightsticks so that when he goes to these award shows, he can just kneecap people.
Folks coming into the community for the purpose of seeking resources. For the most part, although we encounter a little bit over 142 unique individuals, not all of those folks were homeless at the time of our encounters. Oftentimes, folks are coming in whether to panhandle or to access a resource.
This guy looks a little like a druid, and I think it's cool.
on a regular basis, there was.
He also sounds like it too.
I would say probably about 15 folks that were scattered throughout.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sleeping in places deemed as uninhabitable by human standards.
It's Albanian Bill.
Yeah. The recent year, we managed to get some folks referred to different agencies where eventually they were referred to the COC and then eventually got housing. Whereas other folks that are, that are currently remaining, there's a very small number of folks, a couple individual. So there is a family. We're looking for housing for them right now.
Express yourself.
A couple other folks that are basically.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, we should get him.
Apartments. It's difficult because with addiction history and bad credit history, criminal history, there's a lot of barriers to find the appropriate landlord to place those folks into housing. So it requires a lot of engagement, getting them housing ready, and
I wonder what Candy's thoughts are about how discriminatory credit scores are. I bet she has nuanced ideas about it.
Oftentimes, it takes a lot of efforts and a lot of encounters before sometimes they're ready. And we don't know what triggers that readiness on their behalf, but we just know that we're there on specific dates, and then they know that we're there, and that's when they grab us and say we need help. And so we've done a lot of that. We've done a lot of COVID testing. We've had positive test results throughout our interventions. We give a lot of clothing away because folks that are homeless, they tend to lose a lot of their belongings and things like that. So,
or tend to have a lot of their belongings stolen by the Worcester Police Department on a regular basis.
Yeah,
our folks
bulldozed and
connected with DTA benefits. So emergency cash assistance or food stamps benefits. So at least we're
to Fight Club, Mo Bergen.
I've said it. I'll say it again. I will take on any challenger in the city. If anybody wants to fight me, I'll do it. I might not win the fight, but I won't back down from anybody.
Folks that are doing the work, Mr. Chairman.
For instance, Brendan would kick the shit out of me, but
come up to. I was going to say you should come up to Worcester MMA. We'll. It's nice and padded.
I don't let him get flipped over.
I'll buy you coffee afterwards.
Right I don't do good on my back.
Because oftentimes folks move to different areas. They get in confrontations with other individuals there. So
I made this for Bill a while back. I don't think he did anything with it.
But overall,
we need more. Hey, come on, man. That's not fair. Some of us have preferences. Yes, they moved it out to Chuck E. Cheese.
Essentially, we're waiting for some
it's
evictions,
fucked.
Unfortunately, take place so that landlords could work with.
They moved. I mean, I guess that's where they're moving the RMV. But DTA is that out there, Jess, or is it out? I can't remember exactly. But basically, the upshot is they're moving all services away from downtown and making them impossible or unreasonable for people to access.
Others have been really looking into this. And I have folks that have reached out to me some time ago, purchased property recently up in the Upper Burncoat area.
Is that where Reliant used to be?
And, the other thing that I wanted to know, Mr. Chairman, is that I was wondering
out on 20
around
that Chuck E. Cheese
indicates here with regards to
yeah, that one.
That there were
DCF moved from downtown
of which 139
out to Rotman's,
and I'm wondering
right next to Worcester MMA, where Brian is going to come sometime this week to come hang out.
Terms so that I can understand.
Listen, I'm not into triangle chokes and
some for trespassing.
Yeah, Brian said Krav Maga. It's nothing.
If I can get sort of a elaboration on that.
I'll do that thing where people like you elbow somebody.
Boy,
one.
Yeah,
I'll do.
Worcester Police Special Operations.
Oh, this will be good.
To touch on your point, the numbers that I provided: 151 patrol-initiated incidents, or total incidents, with I believe 134 or 39.
That would have been
151 is the total that the neighborhood response team responded to in the Lincoln Street area, the Lincoln Plaza neighborhood. The second number is what you said, patrol initiated, which means they were proactively initiated by the officers. They weren't 911 calls or calls for service that were called in by business owners or
She's got a fantasy to take that uniform off that guy and put it on herself.
At Oriole Drive, in and around Spectrum, around the Rotary, where we tend to see people congregate, on the Coles Plaza side. Looking for
I think that's a fun thing. To just go up to a cop and be like, "You're dressed like a fucking cop."
Drug activity.
Anybody
you
tell
look
you
exactly
look
like a cop? Yeah.
We're trying to get at the street level to reduce the attractiveness of the neighborhood.
You ride that horse just like a cop.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Chairman. The only other thing I wanted to ask about
felt
was
sarcastic.
that extension in hours of the quality of life team. If they could just share with us how that impacted the work.
WHET.
Jim.
Mr. Kale?
Good evening. Thank you, Councilor. Dan Cahill, Quality of Life Task Force, to the council through the chair. We extended our hours.
Is this the guy with the phone?
On a regular basis.
This is the guy who will write you a ticket if you put your trash out too early in the morning. So he's a lot of fun.
Jump back and forth through a couple other
Okay,
days
get
as
him
well.
to pick it up on the right
We're
day
open
then.
Saturdays as well, Saturday morning.
Or at a fucking consistent
But
time.
Tuesday nights, we would go up there to the plaza quite
They're
frequently.
3 days
we do
behind in some neighborhoods. It's not their fault. I'm not complaining. It's fine. It's just funny when you get the cascading days.
Also talks like a cop.
Try to help them move along, or get them connected to a detox or to a shelter or anything that they may need. So we were out and about on mostly Tuesday nights. But I said we have been switching it up to
because you're trying to attract rats.
Yeah, you are the rat lord.
We're going to continue this process as well.
Mo Bergman lays down on the curb and puts trash in his mouth, so the rats will come up to him.
What I'm interested in with regards to this is us taking a sort of a broader look at
I've studied you, Mo.
The efficacy of what we're doing here. According to what we heard tonight, the majority of the folks, I think 15 to 18 or so, are either been housed or they're in the process of that through the work that's being done by the groups that have testified here today from the city, and that's appreciative. What I'm interested in, particularly around what sorts of resources we need, and I'm interested to learn a little bit about what the barriers are in the work they're doing, what the barriers are to access to treatment. We know that we are a hub, and we can anticipate that folks will continue to come for treatment and services and housing and temporary housing. I happen to know some of the individuals that were over at the hotel who I spent time at Holy Name with.
Interesting.
Who are going
it's funny how that works
through the struggle, as they call it. And these folks have their challenges. And a lot of these folks have goals, and what I'm curious about is to learn how can we as a body work with our delegation, our elected officials, to help with this. It's very clear here tonight we're doing the best we can with the resource that the city has. I'm wondering how we can address kind of points of entry issues for this population. And I know that Dr. Castile and her team and the social workers in that department are up to speed on that. And what I would like to see, Mr. Chairman, is us to get at some point, a report back outlining this is the recurrent barrier, systemic barrier here that we need to address, because we know as the second largest city in Worcester, we can get the attention.
Second largest city in Worcester, guys. We did it.
Have good relationships.
Congratulations, everybody.
And I'm not saying at all that this is sort of escalating and so out of hand that we can't control it. I'm just trying to figure out, as you're doing the work, how can we as a body assist in accessing the resources helping folks circumvent
Okay.
systemic
all cops are bots
areas. So
Get a couple more minutes.
like that at some point. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Council Tui.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first, thank you to everybody here for the incredible work that's being done. I know I, along with many of my colleagues, have made
or
calls
downloading
to,
music on Napster.
I mean, seriously,
from the
of
neighborhood
all the people we heard
community
speak tonight, did
and,
anyone
certainly the
articulate an
responsiveness,
actual thing
that I've
or just
experienced from
a
you,
general
in
behaviors
taking
that
care
made
of
me
children,
uncomfortable? Like that.
has really been
You know,
very
they
well
were
Thank you for your
all
received
service.
by the community as
not
well as
inside and
myself and
stuff,
colleagues. So
and I
thank you
don't
so
like that.
much for doing that. Councillor Carlson, I don't think I could add much to what she had said about what was happening in the community. But you know, one thing I do want to say, especially in reading this, is that I think one of the best things that that you could be doing is breaking down the silos and having those team meetings, because then everybody together is able to understand.
This is from a handout she got at her orientation for a new job Monday.
All at once.
We don't like
So you use
silos
each other's
or any other
resources
type of
and
encampment.
really understand truly what's happening with these folks. These are individual people whose lives are impacted, and so we're trying to get them help. And so having everybody communicate is really beneficial. I think that's been great. I was wondering what
Trenchant.
the rate of recidivism is.
Oh, she learned that one. She's
Definitely
using
learned
her
that Monday morning.
She's using her work words.
Treatment or whatever. Is there
hell yeah.
any palpable number that's concerning? Or
But there's probably more shit in those garbage cans that are of use than around anywhere else in Worcester. People that shop at Target tend to throw away things. Is my
You're asking for people who are housed. The majority of people who are housed, certainly through the COC, their data shows that people are remaining in housing. With a good support system, people are remaining in housing. I think when it comes to going through rehab and for addiction, and so going through detox, I think those numbers are not that great. And part of that is supportive services. And when people leave a detox, that they may not have those supportive services. And those are part of the connections that we're trying to do is connect our recovery coaches with people coming out from both.
Kate's going to talk about how that it's like related to her new job.
We follow those people along, but right now
in 3,
right.
2,
And I understand
1.
that completely. It's part of the, as you said, it's that chicken or the egg. You know, there's you know,
which do you eat
substance abuse,
first?
and then there's mental health, and one drives the other, and so I get that. But the most important thing,
Dr.
success
Castillo's
is
comments
being
were poignant
able to
because
do an
Kate's last job was working for AdCare, specifically in the industry that Dr. Castillo was speaking to, that they don't offer the wraparound services and the follow-up necessary to actually make sure people are successful as they move on to medicated-assisted treatment.
Is really one thing that we can be asking for.
I think also one of the things that we're doing through Health and Human Services is we have, along with the Housing First Coordinating Council, to look at the numbers of our homeless community and how we act in that manner, certainly providing housing. We also have an opioid task force to look at what the different organizations that are working with people with addiction, what are the gaps and how do we help them with the gaps? And actually the state sits in these meetings. We also have the reentry task force, which looks at people.
Who's the
who
gentleman
are
over
leaving
her
out of
left
jail.
shoulder that looks like he's
They
about to
presented
fall
those
asleep?
numbers of
He
people
works
who
in the
are
manager's office.
Probably going to transition houses, but at the same time also going to shelters. And so working with the state to be able to look at
He is fighting a buzz.
What is going on now, which like, for example,
That's Peter Dunn?
has the Behavioral Justice
No.
Initiative, which
I don't
follows
think, no. Is it?
people coming out of jail. But for the same token, we want our people to go behind the wall and also
Well,
help people.
I'm certainly not willing to question our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha, everybody.
At the present time, due to COVID restrictions.
The most correct kombucha that you could
That's
possibly
part of what,
buy.
some of our folks also do, again, to prevent homelessness and to provide addiction. We have worked in the reentry task force to look at providing medically assisted treatment for people with addiction in the jails, and hopefully that will be happening soon. But that's been something that we've been working on. So a lot of our work is both locally here with the agencies, but also to have the state on board so that they can help us with that.
Thank you. One of the other questions I had was, do we know?
Ed smacked him around for
the
falling
individuals
asleep during a
coming?
city
I know
council meeting.
that previously you had reported, I think it was roughly 60% of all homeless individuals in the city were coming from outside. Do we know what this particular population in Lincoln Street area, do we know what that is?
Through the chair to the counselor. So that's one of the data points we try to capture. We would have to combine all our outreach efforts in one stat. But we've had several discussions, most recently with.
And if we were to blame anybody, we're blaming the elves.
What they report is that there's a large volume of folks that are coming from outside the city looking for services. Most of the folks that sleep outdoors.
Kate's going to tie this into getting rid of services so that people stay out of the city.
From outside the city.
It's weird. It's like these people don't have homes and they go to where there's resources and help available. It's the damnedest thing. We got to stop it.
Where I could access food and
not like Kate Toomey's family who sprung up out of the earth right here in Worcester.
Maybe not today, but in the next couple days or so.
God shat them out himself.
Typically run into them. So we have a very good, robust system. Capacity is a different thing, but we
should try that. It would look great from the highway.
My old house used to face that. And there was time when it would just like rapid change and turn in like a fucking strobe light all night. It was obnoxious, especially when it first started.
And now we have three team members.
Sounds great. Take an edible, go sit under it.
Yeah, I fucking lost myself and then some. What were you gonna say, Brendan?
I don't remember. COVID brain, man. Sorry.
I jumped all over you.
We've managed to save life by direct intervention due to cardiac.
Man, if Brendan's COVID brain keeps going like this, I might be able to judo kick him.
Yeah.
Just last Thursday, we managed to save.
He forgets to put his guard up.
So, but we have a number of those, cases that we could report on. So.
Thank you. The reason I ask, and I've brought this up before, is that yes, we have the services, but
you mean one of those moving trucks?
What else can the delegation do? We probably need to have a conversation about how to
spray them with a hose or something.
Services and things like that from these other cities and towns. If they're not providing services up front,
booyah! There it is.
Back and forth, and I think that that's important. So,
what do you?
If we could work with the delegation on that, that would be great, Mr. Chairman.
We should charge other towns for people that move here.
Is, I'm so grateful that you've changed it up and you recognize.
By that you mean upper middle class folks who get priced out of Brookline, Brian?
Yeah.
Our folks that are
if they end up behind the target, then yeah.
Up and extending the times of
Don't
being
you
out
dare
on
hang out behind it.
And I know that you're all.
I've never seen anyone behind the target. Literally, you can see the back of Target from the highway. I've never seen anybody back there.
So, from the chairman to the.
I'm from a little shitty city in Connecticut, and my dad was really into highlight. So we would hang out behind Kmart so he could throw his highlight ball at the wall because it was high enough for him to actually.
I didn't know your dad did cocaine.
Oh, and then some. He was also into baseball, and he still has a mustache. He absolutely did cocaine.
Wow. Did you guys ever have to go to like Miami for like a big tournament?
Outside that.
No, it was never. He wasn't that
Just
good.
a bet on highlight.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't that good.
He laundered money through a highlight club in Havana.
I think he still has the cesta somewhere in the basement.
We should throw oranges at Jack Murray.
We have as of right now.
I'm there.
So how do we get that to be changed?
Let's throw that darty.
Yeah, is that like some sort of
how can we work
Generation Z word for a party?
If they can be more flexible.
It's cool to misspell things like Instagrams.
at the times that they may be out there. So
she has said nothing at this
Dr.
entire
Castillo,
time.
Mr. Manager.
Oh no, we got to charge other towns.
To the chair, I think that
if somebody gets
we are
sick
trying
here.
to do that. We are. I know these
Oh
guys
yeah,
have
day
meetings all the
party.
time with all the outreach groups to figure out how
We'll
we
see
do
you there,
that.
Mo.
I think that's some of the things.
Oh,
that
it
we're
really
working
is
on
day
too.
party, Jack?
Wow.
And I would say that they are sort of the lead.
So my
group.
instincts are right. I'm just
We are
not
working with
connecting
people.
to
And
the
our goal
youth.
is really to
I
get
can't
people who are
understand
doing
kids
outreach
these
to go
days.
out into the community, especially when we talk about that there may be an encampment and they may, the state may want to move an
The problem with a day party is that you can't see the artistic
go
lighting.
and see,
That's
see
good.
if they can help the folks that are
Did
there.
you notice
So
how they got
we're
Peter
trying
off
as best as we
camera?
can to do that.
through you, Mr. Chair,
Nico's like,
Dr.
zoom
Castillo
in.
or whoever else wants to answer. Is that something in the language of the
There he
contracts
is.
or agreements that we have with the
Blowing
agencies?
kisses,
that,
blowing
Even has a little
smooches at us.
pucker in this photo. Yeah.
Mr. Manager.
He's saying he's going, "Hey you."
Through you, Mr. Chairman, many of these agencies are funded by the Commonwealth, or they're funded by, private enterprises. So it's really different across the board. But we do try to work in concert, as Dr. Castillo
Does
said.
Bill know
I
he's there?
participated in some of the meetings for all of the outreach workers. We've talked about how to share intelligence, if you will, about who's out there, who's got the real best relationship with this individual, who's best to engage with them, what do you know about this person's circumstances.
Wow.
So we try to use the right approach.
Somebody to watch.
I'd watch that.
Everything can always be improved upon, and we part of that engagement is a way to try to.
Is it going to be green?
Better and supporting each other, because sometimes the best approach is Elliot. The best approach might be.
You're in
Smart,
trouble, pal.
City staff. So the goal is to help people, whoever.
Paul Giorgio would endorse it too.
Interlocutor with them is. So we'll continue to work with our partners. And
I invited the editor of Pulse on here tonight, but she said she was too busy.
I didn't appreciate on my behalf the team that's here.
Big time and
part of this team. The council supported
editing Jack's bio for his award presentation.
It's out there, which allows us to help more people, to engage more folks who are in distress and get more people help. And again, that's us trying to do everything we know how to do to get people the support that they need.
Whoa.
So
is that like a
God's work.
Like nighttime something?
Through you, Mr. Chair, for a legal perspective.
No, Jack, you're so canceled from this show. We don't talk about her.
We don't talk about Jenny.
A vote on any type of thing, but I'm just disclosing it. So I want to thank everybody.
Haven't they read your sweatshirt?
Started out saying how grateful I am for your collaboration and for working together. And the last thing is the housing piece, right? Because that's all we hear about is the housing.
Yeah, weird, huh?
I called you about housing issues, etc. So through Mr. Chair, it'd be great if we could have a conversation about creating some unique housing opportunities.
Here we go with the tiny trailers again.
To be able to provide supportive housing, perhaps in buildings that aren't going to be used for commercial use again, or other types of.
How about the spare bedrooms at your house?
Yeah, I think she's actually talking about the 5 and diner.
Take a look at this from a different.
Two different people could sleep in the oven.
And see if we could be creative in finding that, because
creative.
It's terrible out there. I mean, our Worcester housing.
Just look at all the booths. Those are basically beds.
To get into.
It's true.
Get a spot, and so I think
creative.
What I'm hearing from folks is that it's almost near impossible to get an apartment. So even if you have the means, even if you have the funds available. So if we could do that form of an order, I'd appreciate that. Thank you again for all you're doing.
Thank you. We have Councilor Nguyen.
First, I would just like to thank
if she, it may have been by accident.
The manager for doing this work, I'm not the best at saying thank yous, but, I feel the weight of this work. I've had a lot of people reach out to me to really express the gratitude that we continue to talk
Cool scarf
about
too.
The homeless populations with such dignity and such care.
Yeah, it looks warm.
And so,
Is
I
this
think it's
Two's
important
first
that we
meeting in
continue to have
person?
these conversations
Or did I
and
miss?
continue
No,
to
this
make
is it.
progress to better the
Yeah, I haven't
conditions
seen
yeah.
them in the
for
chamber
folks.
before.
On
Welcome
January
to the
25th,
chamber
I
too.
asked for a report that included reaching out to providers to get feedback on the 7-day vacate policy on encampments.
Hell yeah.
And, as
They
I
look like a
mentioned, I don't
natural.
believe 7 days is long enough. And so this is where my concern is. I've had people reach out and say that people are utilizing that policy on the ground and that people have been told to leave within 7 days. And so that's something I just wanted to bring up as something that I've been hearing, and that I hope that, we're not enacting this policy before we have conversations with agencies and folks first impacted by homelessness about best practices, as well as, what we can really do to support the folks on the ground. Once again, just really pushing that, we kind of have people review the policy before pushing on the 7 days, and that people are really looking closely at what we are doing and how we're moving, through supporting homeless folks at this time. And I do believe that together we could come up with long-term solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Councilor King.
Mr. Chairman, really quickly, just a comment, and then I'm just going to ask through the chair just for clarification. I've stood before this body over the years advocating for increasing the staffing in the health and human services, particularly with licensed clinicians. And I'm going to reiterate that call, Mr. Chairman. I know budget time's coming up, and I really like to see,
when is budget time? Do we know?
Maybe 5 or so social workers that are out there with their sleeves rolled up. That being said, Mr. Chairman, the clarification I'd like to ask is, I had asked about the incidents that occurred and how many were patrol initiated, and I think that the officer said 39, and looking here, it looks like it was 139. I just want clarification on that. It says that 12 of those incidents came through 911. The rest were from patrol initiated. Just want to clarify the number. I know here it says 139, but on the record was stated it was 39. I just want clarification, Mr. Chairman. How many were patrol initiated?
Thank you. Through the chair to the council. So 139 were patrol initiated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant.
That's a wild number of patrol initiated interactions.
That's great work.
That's called hunting.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to spend that to public health. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered, along with Council Toomey's report.
They had nothing better to do
Delegation.
than to hang out behind targets.
Opposed, so ordered. Okay.
Candy's just pointing out
Emergency
those
communications,
ones.
information
No, but
communication
that's what's
report.
really
How
going
hours
on
that
here.
occurred on February 4th, 2022 through
They want the
February
behind
6th,
targets back.
22
That's
in
where
the
they used to
Lincoln
hang out
Street
and do.
adjacent
Yeah.
street.
Where are they supposed to sleep? Where are their encampments supposed to go?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I understand that we still have some outages up there. We have people who are still
There's
on
like a few
generators.
drops.
I'm not sure if we knew that. Last night at the neighborhood meeting, there's several homes that are on generators. Again, part of why I asked for this report is that we historically in the city, when something like this happened, we all knew about it. And the grid was very good about notifying us as a city, and city obviously was very good about
the grid
notifying us as counselors. This incident that took
talking
place
about that empty
Street
development
was
downtown.
21 hours before anybody was notified, and when
They
I
used
say
to have a
anybody,
halfway decent
I
comedy
mean,
club.
as a counselor, I didn't hear anything until
felt like
I
a star.
initiated the phone call. And part of this is certainly given the fact that this was during a period of time that it was 17 degrees outside and people were told, and I just have to say that when I see
Salsa
dial
time.
1-800 to find out
Right
the
here
status
next Monday night.
of where your power's at, sends me into.
At what time are we doing? 8?
1-800
I think it's 8 to
isn't gonna
10.
help
It's either 8 to
me
10 or 7 to
when
9. We got to
I
finalize.
have my kids, my elderly parent, or
I'm gonna need
whether
a
it's
better chair.
myself
Sitting here all
and
day
it's
is kicking
17
my
degrees
ass.
out, and it's an automated. I know this because, quite frankly, my husband represented the utility industry for 35 years. So I know how.
Oh yeah,
that
Jenny Ops.
system
That's a great
works,
job.
is work.
Gotta tell you.
So that every 2 hours, as soon as it
Every
gets
movie
close to,
set, if
you know,
if
an
you
hour
guys
and a
don't
half
know,
or whatever,
we're
they hit the
typically
button
powered
again and
by
it
big
says 2
generators,
more
and it's
hours.
somebody's job to just sit there and make
For,
sure it doesn't
you know,
explode.
there's
They have no
236 families up there
like
in
ability
this
to not make it
area that
explode, but
were
they're just
without
supposed to watch them make sure it doesn't explode.
power. And yes,
And if
They
it
just, like,
does, then I
wave
guess
their
they'll tell
arms when it
everybody.
starts to.
And again, I'll
Hey.
reiterate, once I made the phone call to Nicole Valentine, those folks were on it immediately, and people did get generators. But the point is, it took 21 hours, and it took me to initiate that call for us to make sure that the families up there in the neighborhoods
Yeah, the
were
pretty easiest deal.
taken care of. And I just, you know, again, they have generators, but what surprised me is to learn that we still have people who are on generators up in the Lincoln Street area. And we did get a notification about that they now have to go in and all those new lines have to be put in there. And,
Google
you
me,
know,
bitch.
I get it that they're saying that, you know, when they fixed one end, the next end went out and the next end. And I understand that. But that doesn't help the families who are sitting there waiting for their power to come back on when it's
I don't shovel my
freezing
driveway.
in their house. I just think that
Wait
there's
for it
got
to
to
melt.
be better communication, and we need to absolutely make sure that there is better communication about this. So I think that this would be a great item to go to Public Works. And I know in the past, because I've been on Public Works, that we've had the utility companies come in and explain to us exactly how it works. And my understanding is, and again,
Public
my
Works.
understanding is that there has been some turnover there. And I know the last time that we had the folks come into the
Should tell her
community
there's an
and
opportunity
spoke
to
with them, and
make
they
an
talked to
address
us about how this
in front of
process
it.
worked. I think it'd be helpful if this item was.
Hey, your
sent
voice can crack at
to
any point in your life,
Public Works.
Jack.
Thank
Okay,
you,
it's
Mr.
about
Chairman.
vocal cords. It's
Thank
not
you,
about
Councilor Rivera.
puberty or whatever you're
Yeah,
fucking
brief. I
going
just want
through.
to say, I
Oh,
still might
Mose,
disagree, but I want to say.
Soray's going to address your generator.
What Councilmember Carlson stated. I had the scare of a lifetime in that weekend. I have an elder, immediate family member that I didn't realize that because just like the phone went off, and so I was actually
How
out of
does
town
this
visiting
relate?
my grandchildren for their birthday when I get a call that they can't reach, you know, that they've called, like it didn't signify. So literally I had to like call here.
My voice
call
cracks
them
all
and
the
we had to
time.
do a wellness check. Right?
It's because I
Which
scream
is very
so
out of the
much.
ordinary, and come to find out that it
My
was
voice
that
is
they
destroyed.
threw off the phone. Person doesn't have a cell phone. Some people that are older don't have cell phones. It was actually, and up until like even I think today.
Is that a true fact, Sarai?
phone
Old people
still
don't have
was
cell
not
phones?
working. So we had to like go out and get a cell phone.
Well,
Like,
Berman, do you have a cell phone?
and if it wasn't for that cell phone, we would not have an opportunity to be able to
My
communicate.
grandmother has a cell phone, but she turns it
not
on to
only
call
that,
me
but
and
the
then
person
turns it
that
off as soon as
lives,
she's done with the phone call.
below in the house is also, is actually a woman
It's
who's
perfect.
elderly and lives by herself.
It's funny that
So,
people learned that like
really,
when cell
really,
phones
really
first came out.
concerning. And I just
But
wanted
like
to support,
phone batteries lasted for
my
like
fellow council
6
member, because
months back
as
then.
a family member that actually endured scared in that weekend, and really has seen
Watch out,
problematic.
Jack. People are
Still, to
watching
this
you.
day, we're not seeing 100% function. And again, that's really affecting people not being able to communicate, not being able to kind of, folks that.
Indeed, is this part of the reason why I
drive,
get
don't,
phone calls
need
from the
assistance
Worcester
to
Senior
schedule a
Center
medical appointment or just
every
basic
week,
things. There's a
despite the
storm,
fact that
like, how
I'm
do we get a hold
never
of them,
utilized
or,
services there,
what's happening,
and
the fact that they
my
don't
phone
have,
number somehow ended up on the call
they don't have
list.
internet. They don't have internet. They don't have phone. They don't have a way to communicate, and that's been but that's been going on for weeks now. That's really problematic, and it's really affecting, and it's a safety issue. It really is. So I just really wanted to support that and give credibility to what my fellow council member was saying, because as someone who had a family member that experienced it, it is really, really problematic. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I just
so ordered.
Let it go to voicemail. To the point where my phone thinks that it's a
spam.
I think I think this is inside, but I scouted the Worcester Senior Center a few years ago, and I think Amy put my name on the call list.
Bregman? Yes. Councilor Caloria?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
It's not a problem at all. It's totally not an
Yes.
issue.
Councilor Carlson?
I always get this weird phone
Yeah.
call from like Dedham.
Rivera?
I'm like, oh,
What do they tell you?
Just say that the Worcester Senior Center is going to be closed because of a snowstorm.
Mayor Petty.
Yeah, that's actually fine information for me to have.
This is
Was there 2 votes there, or did we just somehow lump generators into people hanging out behind Target? A 40-minute conversation about people behind Target.
They
only heard 1 vote.
They sent the first. No, they sent it to committee, I believe.
Yes.
The first one.
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Carlson?
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose? Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
If your phone's not dead, as long as your Jenny's working, we can call you.
We have orders. We have 10.A. Council Russell requests that the city manager consider allocating American Rescue Act funds to establish a down payment assistance program for the first-time homeowners in owner-occupied properties that would assist current residents with substantial down payments. Fair request manager provide additional assistance of up to 3 times
the
regular amount for each homeowner who would become their family's first generation of homeowners.
Buddy.
Council Russell.
Mr. Chairman, I wish I could tell you I came up with this all by myself on, it was some kind of a great idea that I had, but I stole it. I stole it from a governor that is giving out $25,000 of his opera money from his state funds only to first generational home buyers to change the makeup and to change the lives of families. Mr. Chairman,
I stole it from a governor.
We should be doing something that excludes folks whose families.
Yeah, see, I stole it from a governor.
Nobody's gonna suspect me. I'm a walrus.
But I do think it's a wonderful idea to change for the good.
He's gonna cry.
This once in a lifetime money that we have available at our disposal to change lives of families.
He's just thinking of the commissions he's going to get from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we stop the fucking chit chat behind here? We got official business going on.
Families that have never been
carrying on about what kind of car you drive.
That's the future city manager you're talking about there. He's holding his own meeting.
Never been able to tap into their
Sure.
educational funds for their children. Families that
Mr.
have
Batista?
never had
It is.
the ability for home ownership. And Mr. Chairman, it behooves us to take a look at
How
this.
tall is he?
All I know about Eric Batista is he doesn't believe dinosaurs exist.
For his opinion and others in the administration.
Is that real?
From what I am getting for
The dinosaurs? Yeah.
How does he not believe dinosaurs existed? His boss is one.
Putting it on to the
No, dinosaurs didn't exist.
Doing whatever we can.
The museums are filled with lies.
He's under 5'9". Fuck no.
Not getting my vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh.
I know we don't vote for city manager, but
I'm gonna though.
Thank you. I appreciate Councilor Russell's order.
I don't know. I think Christian's pretty tall.
The manager could answer this through the chair. I believe that through the ARPA funds and the 20% allocations that the city
proof
has
that you don't need to be tall to
allocated
be awesome.
$5 million towards down payment assistance. Is that? Could you elaborate on that?
Mr. Manager.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that's correct. That was one of the.
He's like twice as tall as
items
Adele.
under the housing category that we recommended. So we do have some.
Whoa.
Money set
That could be our
aside
new unit
for-
of measure. Yeah, Ed is 3 Adele's tall, like Smurfs.
I absolutely 100% support what Councilor Russell said. I would ask that in any decisions that we make, whether that's renters through the ARPA funds or through homeowners, that take into account that there's a reason why people haven't built wealth, generational wealth, and that's because for Black and Brown communities,
I like the way it
specifically,
tells
more
us
wealth
ARPA.
communities, this has been both they've been segregated from the opportunities
Good eye,
in
Matt.
lending, especially. That's the kind of attention I want to bring to this discussion too, to make sure that whatever decisions we make, that we prioritize, as the federal government has told us to, communities that have been disproportionately impacted, not just by the pandemic, but by being segregated from opportunities in lending. I remember a few years back, Councilor Rivera and Congressman McGovern and a few others had discussions around lending. I'm holding in my hand, I got this today because I have brought this report up in other conversations that I've had with people around racial discrimination in lending, that the Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission in 2017, as early as 2017, did a report on mortgages denied in Worcester. What was super striking for me in that report is that if you look at the breakdown of race, and I'm actually was wondering through the chair to the city manager, if there's a way we can actually provide this report to the ad hoc committees that will be allocating ARPA funds as background as to why this is important. And for the public that's listening, I'd like to take a few minutes to list some of these denial rates.
He's talking about
Native
us.
Hawaiian or other Pacific Islanders, 60% denial rate. Black or African American, 15.53% denial rate. American Indian, Alaskan Native, 11.11% denial rate. Asian, 8.6 denial rate. White, 7.86 denial rate. 2 or more minority races, minorities is the reports used, not mine. 25% joint white/minority race, 8.84%. In other words, in the largest city of New England, where Black or African American, I believe by the last census, is 13%, we have a denial rate of 15.53%. I bring this up because if we are ever to achieve equity, whether that's in housing, lending, or rental, or housing,
She would have benefited from a graphic right there.
We have to talk about who's being segregated from these opportunities and who's being left out. And I would like to make, in a form of an order, if you would indulge me, to the city manager, if we could potentially convene bankers, partners, people that have a say in lending, to have this discussion, to make this report widely available, and to see whether, along with what Councilor Russell said, we provide homeowner assistance with a racial equity focus, but then we also try to bring these conversations to the forefront. Thank you.
Can we have a motion on that? Yeah, I know we used to meet yearly on the bankers of Clark University, but since COVID, I don't think that group has met. But Councilor Rivera?
Yeah, this kind of goes in collaboration to a lot of what I've been talking about regarding understanding economic development from an equity lens, and also the order that I have on today, that I signed on to this order, and I really want to commend my fellow colleague, Councilor Russell, on this, in looking at the item number that I have for 10G, which is exactly, I don't know, kind of didn't want to repeat and speak twice. It couldn't all go together.
Come on, you know you did.
Then why are you?
Article, and it was exactly, it says, home ownership is often viewed as the entry to the American dream and the gateway to intergenerational wealth.
But the appalling
However,
part
this
really
pathway
is that for
often
30
less
years, we have
achievable
people like Ray
for Black
Mariano that
Americans
love
who
telling you
boast
in
a
public how they grew
homeownership
up
rate of
in Great Brook Valley
46.4 compared
without
to
leaving,
75.8
without
for
including the
Black
part
families.
that at the time Great Brook Valley was
Matters
built
homes
as
for
temporary
predominantly
GI
Black
housing,
families,
where you were
valued
just
at
staged as a family until you were
$48,000
given a
less
free
than
home,
predominantly White neighborhoods, with
which
cumulative
the GI
loss in
Bill
equity and
completely cut out
approximately
anyone that was non-white from participating in
156
at the time.
billion. These are significant contribution factors to the racial wealth gap. In 2016,
Yeah, so same thing.
posted the highest median wealth of 1,701.
And there's so many ways to rectify that. I mean,
Black families in
it
contrast
would
had a
be,
median
I'm not saying
family
it's
wealth
easy,
of 17.
but you could easily turn our public housing system
ownership,
into an
social
equity
wealth
building machine, if you will, by allowing people to pay into a system that would then be returned to them when they were ready to make a purchase on a single family home. It's not hard to do. They're municipally owned buildings, so it'd be rather easy to figure out ways to use them to create equity for people.
Mobility. The loss of wealth in Black communities.
Even doing with the triple deckers and selling them as condos. That's helping 3 families now. It's working.
Years ago, I think the meeting that Councillor Javier is mentioning was done with Councillor King and Councillor Rose, where we really looked at the issue of lending. If we don't address the issues that are problematic, so back when the GI Bill, for example, came,
you guys seen that like Instagram trend where like people like dress like their parents in old photos?
Black and brown communities came.
That's what Sarai's doing.
I feel it too. It's very like a 80s vibe.
In segregated communities, and then
Sally Jesse Raphael kind of stuff.
Redlined, so they couldn't buy because the banks wouldn't lend. So it just created this like negative cycle. If we don't really look at, like, just now there was a whole segment that was done, should have brought a clip of it, where even if someone is selling a home, the mere fact of 2 of us to sell a home, myself as a woman of color and somebody who's from a white community sells a home, the same exact home gets offered less even if the person has an ownership, even if the homeowner is a person of color. These are not just things that
you shouldn't sell the same home twice. That's
no, it's double monopoly.
Policies, data, numbers, is finances attached to all this, right? And so if we really don't take a look at this adequately and really address this issue, we're going to continue to just repeat the same cycles.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We have to begin to implement.
She does have Howard Stern in the movie in Private Parts, that the same hairstyle.
It kind of goes together a little bit.
Does it?
She's rocking it better than Howard Stern did, if we're being honest.
The manager requests the chief development officer with various stakeholders, include but not limited to the community and city council, to create policy solutions that advance racial equity in housing.
Yeah,
you just spoke about this, but
yeah, exactly. So if this is actually really looking at, about. That's why I figured we might as well that we don't have to repeat it. Housing.
Read the fucking room, Sarai.
Culprit behind the large racial wealth gap between Black and white household in U.S., mobilizing public and political will to craft and implement remedies necessary for
who's that next to her?
This future is a cultural is to rectify years of unjust
it is Kate. I'm sorry.
Policy that continue to impact families. And there's a really good article that I'll be happy to share and send to the city clerk's office that talks about 5 different.
She is antsy about something.
Advanced racial policies that we could actually implement. I'm not talking about something that just kind of feel good.
She's trying to get her check.
To really look at concrete policy change. Really
the president starts in 8 minutes, and I got to go.
The fact that we have different types of segregation. We still have segregation. We segregate according not just race, but class, poverty. It's a real issue. We tend to clump people together, and then we have a saturation of services, saturation of different programs, and then it's just a whole issue that we have within our city. Some of them, I'm not going to go into detail, but just really quick, increase opportunities for Black home ownership. This is one, the
only clumps I want to see is Nutty Professor 2. Am I right, everybody?
Down payment
Hercules.
Here. Access to affordable credit, investing in affordable home ownership. Looking number 2, investing in distressed, racially segregated community. This is really, really important, but at the same time, making sure that we're doing things that are not contributing to gentrification. And there's ways that we can do that. 3, 4, and 5, very quick. Stop perpetuating segregation, which is really important. We do, if we feel that we don't have segregation, yes, we do. And that's, you know what? We don't have to have a fit about it. We just have to be able to see what's wrong so we can work collectively to fix it, right? How do we rectify it? We've done a lot of really good things on this council. I think we can do this. Reforming zoning to allow mixed income communities building and preserving affordable homes and communities
I
of
actually
opportunity,
thought we were going to
increase
wrap
the
by 9
mobility of
tonight, but
families
we're going to
without
fly
children,
right through that.
or invest in affordable rental housing, minimizing the damage of COVID-19 on Black and brown households. There's specific things that are out there that are written, and what I'm asking with this order, in collaboration with what's happening here, is if we're taking a look at this, we're going to just continue to perpetuate these cycles of segregation and poverty if we do not address this from a policy perspective. So part of the order that I brought was it's actually to request the city manager really look at economic development, bringing various stakeholders, which would be lending, community, business, whatever that may be, included but not limited to community and city council, to create a policy solution that advances racial equity in housing and specifically in home ownership. We can do this all we want, but until we address these policies that have affected and have oppressed communities for way too long, we're going to see the same thing and the same thing over and over again. So I would ask that, I've been really proud to hear economic development talk about economic equity, and this council actually do some things to actually mobilize for economic equity, especially with our small businesses and other things. I'd like to kind of take the challenge to bring this out forward, and I've mentioned this before, and would love to see within the next.
In an unfortunate way, this is kind of how nothing gets done, right? Like, so the city of Worcester will create policy. It's been federal law for decades that you can't discriminate in housing. So it'd be much easier just to go find the underwriters who are denying like 83% of Pacific Islanders, hit them with a brick, and be done with it. Like, they're problem solved. That's
housing. Thank you.
All these people are racist against Hawaiians.
Here, I also signed on
to
to
get them out of Worcester.
Order, and I would like to sign on to Councilor Rivera's. I will tell you that the inequity is real. I actually had a friend who was actually Latina, who was having trouble.
And they didn't have a cell phone.
And kept getting turned down. And I called, and they were going to show the apartment to me. So it's real. And I think that making sure that folks are able to have the same opportunity to purchase a home and have all of the other aspects that Councilor Rivera had mentioned is really something that makes our community better and stronger, our diverse community. One of the things I think that really hurt our city was when the Clayton Laurel neighborhood.
There he is.
In 290, split apart, and I think that really negatively impacted.
Wearing his best Donald Trump suit.
Communities of color, especially our Black community, and then there used to be.
That is a mean scowl on your face, Mo.
1900s, a very supported, prominent community, Black community that actually lived over on the west side. I was reading about that recently. And so why isn't this happening? We have a lot of folks in our community who are hardworking, who have worked every bit as hard as everybody else, right? So everybody should have the same opportunity. And I think it's important that we move forward.
Okay, do you really want to know why that doesn't happen?
Rivera and Councilor Russell have said.
Because you'd have to read a couple more articles.
That doesn't specifically talk about race, but provides opportunity too. So I just wanted to say I support it, and thank you.
Thank you. Councilor King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I didn't sign on to this order. I'll certainly support it. And I appreciate many of the comments made here today. With reference to the banking matter,
how come all the other counselors just stand up away from the mic and you can hear them fine, but Christian has to lean right up to the microphone and you still can barely hear him?
Homes.
The other counselors are only 2 Attels tall. Christian is 2.5 Attels tall.
Yeah.
In the office of the city manager, and one of the things.
And one Attel is 3 apples high.
That when it comes to banking equity, that's where a lot of this begins and ends, because it's about credit, wealth building, for long-term stability. And Mr. Chairman, what I recall is that I think somewhere around 32% of the population is identified as Black or Latino. And at that particular conference, I remember the term underbanked and unbanked. And what that means is exactly what it says. And that same very population of Black and Latino consumers or potential consumers.
Yeah, our viewers are dropping off like flies. This is what they wanted.
That's how they get you.
Account for 64%.
What are they going to learn from the president?
Well, yeah, people are going to watch the
of the underbank. So what does all of that mean? That means credit. Mr.
Do we
Chairman.
switch?
Why does it happen? There's a host of reasons, amongst them.
Well, it was that, and the president was preempted by Judge Steve Harvey, which I know is a big draw these days. So.
Oh shit! Judge Steve Harvey's on.
That's what we were. That's what we're up against.
Of banking. And when we talked about that, what I remember sticking out was, and I can't remember who it was at the meeting, but the fact that on the way down, might have been you, Mr. Chairman, actually. I think we had talked about that on the way to Clark University from downtown. I don't think there was one bank in between, large patches of Main Street. And the alternative to that is a lot of check cashing agencies. We know that when we
I have it ready to switch whenever you guys want to do
my
it.
colleague referenced about building wealth.
Yeah, it's not up yet, right?
Establishing credit, but we also have folks who live in those areas that we want to see achieve what they call the American dream. But what they're doing is they're getting advances on their paycheck, Mr. Chairman. They're taking payday loans, and that impacts credit. And from what I recall, I think the congressman had some great ideas. We talked about housing court. I remember that. Grace Ross and her group were there. There was a host of community folks, a host of folks from the legislature, and leaders in banking and business. And I do think
some hard B's.
Sort of reform would go a long ways. It's just it sticks out to me that a lot of those banks were talking about new ways of engaging with our community, our Black and brown community.
Only we have 2 videos.
We, as a city, can perhaps reinitiate or continue, if we are already doing it, working with those institutions to do what they said that they were committed to do. And there's a lot of things that folks learned at those particular sessions that weren't common knowledge. So I support Councilor Haji's motion, and it's certainly a lot to think about as we try to do right with our ARPA funds and making sure it's equity centered. I look forward to the report that we asked back relative to that from the law department out of municipal operations, but happy to hear that we're having the dialogue. Thank you.
Okay, we have Councilor King, Councilor Bergman.
Thank you, Mr.
Here we
Chairman.
go.
Just very briefly, I've been on the council long enough to notice that there are times where it seems like we're all on the same page and we're going in different directions. And then there are times where if you're...
We're just like an unruly rap mob and we're running all over the city.
But I really think we all are headed in a very good direction. For the first time in a very long time, I really feel some energy and understanding and appreciating how important homeownership is. And I don't think anybody on this council will deny the fact that historically there has been prejudice against people of color in getting mortgages. We've discussed this on the council floor. The numbers in Worcester are particularly troubling. Only 40% own property, and of that 40%, there's not a very high percentage of people that are Black or brown. So, I think Council Russell's suggestion is an excellent one. I think
if only we had some lawyers with the tools to deal with such things.
Everybody else that signed on and participated, I think, are all swimming in the same direction. We need to get more home ownership, but we need to make sure it goes.
How about you just give them your house, Mo?
Have historically been denied that. It's that simple.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would vote for him if he gave a group of homeless people his house, a group of people experiencing homelessness.
How we go about it. We may also have different ideas at the end game.
we're all reaching, we're trying to reach the same end result.
Yeah, obviously.
In our city and different
Yes.
neighborhoods, those percentages of demographics change, so that we really are a city represented in different neighborhoods by people who own their own homes and have an opportunity at the American dream. Now, we've said before, and I agree, not everybody.
I don't.
The American dream.
I think,
Dusty roads.
There's a general appreciation that home ownership does have benefits, and it certainly has benefits for everybody. They just need the opportunity.
Thank you, Jess.
To have a chance at it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, we'll send that along. This will go to the city manager along with Council IGI's order and other motions that I may have missed, but send to the city manager. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Okay, and that's along. I'm sorry. Also, Council Rivera's item 10G. Send that to the city manager. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Next item is requested the manager consider creating neighborhood district ad hoc committees to assist with zoning ordinance changes resulting from the pursuant to the 10-year master plan. For the request, manager consider the meetings also be planned in district neighborhoods regarding same. Councilor Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This came about, this order, particularly through some neighborhood issues that Councilor Hex-GI and myself participated in. And they're longstanding issues, but I think the contributions that the neighbors made were helpful in trying to develop an order that makes some sense. We do have a 10-year master plan. We are going to be talking about zoning changes. And I think oftentimes individuals in neighborhoods who know their neighborhoods best feel left out in the process. And this is an ask to make sure that they're not left out. We only get to do this every 10 years, every decade. And perhaps we could, work at ad hoc committees and make sure these meetings take place in neighborhoods so that people are able to attend the meetings.
Biden's rolling in.
Zoning is unique in particular neighborhoods. It's unique throughout the city. And oftentimes,
wow, they're throwing chairs at him.
To find the right balance between how to develop properties versus how to.
Ted Cruz just took a swing at Joe Biden. That's crazy. We don't. It's gonna take forever. Let's go back to the. I was just fucking around. It's not like we're not gonna see enough of the speech immediately after we get off there.
Of ad hoc committees.
Let's let Mo keep talking.
Over who gets on those committees and who gets to speak, but I do think
I do love a happy ASL translator though. That already was off to a great start.
That's great. We might not normally get with just official council standing committees, but I understand where you're coming from, and I have no objection changing or adding any language that makes sure standing committees are also.
That is crazy, though. Amy Coney Barrett just spit in his face.
I want to just thank
into his mouth.
And Hi Jeff for this order. I think is great, and I think Council Bergman made some really good points. I know that this is something that comes up in my district repeatedly for a number of different issues, and so I would really would like to sign on and would support this.
Okay. So everybody else set then? Councilmember Carlson?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to sign on. Thank you.
So everybody wants to sign on? Okay. We'll send this to the manager as amended.
Yeah, I fucking hate my neighbors.
Okay.
I don't even know them. I don't refuse to speak to them. I just hate their guts.
7 pothole priority repair hotline. Council Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know it always seems like every year the potholes are worse than the year before, but I really think this year I've heard more complaints, and I've actually been in the middle of more large potholes than I've ever been in, and I don't
you
think,
have.
they
Getting right down in there.
Or after hours, I did try to reach our commissioner, and unfortunately, we weren't able to connect today. But I would really, like to get some feedback on that. I know they do the best they can. I know there are hundreds of miles. I get all.
So
that,
Beto won the Democratic
reality is
primary,
when
huh?
somebody's car gets damaged. Because the pothole wasn't reported over the weekend, they have no way of getting compensated for the damage, because the law works that unless the city's notified. So I do think it's not only the right thing to do, I think it's the fair thing to do, to have somebody able to address these pothole situations, 24/7. And if they're bad enough, prioritize them. So even after hours or on weekends, they get filled. If that's happening now, I apologize. It's my understanding it isn't. So that's the ask. Thank you.
Yeah.
Send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay. What's that?
Sign on that one. That one, I get called, yes. That is it.
Speaking of the fucking microphone, Candy.
Sorry,
Okay.
Ed.
Okay, as amended, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager consider creating a winter youth pay to shovel program to assist the elderly and disabled homeowners in removing snow from the sidewalks and to provide income opportunities for the youth in doing the same.
I know at some point my streak's going to run out, but hopefully not on this one. I was contacted by a number of elderly and infirm people, sometimes both elderly and infirmed, and they really have difficulty trying to find, folks to help them. I did get a print.
I only get contacted by extremely firm people.
Staff and the mayor's staff and
strong backs.
list of contacts.
Yeah. Don't need any help with anything.
But it's very limited. There's actually one individual and one organization that's available on a very limited basis and with specific area codes to help. So my thought was, I'm not suggesting we use tax dollars, at least not initially. I would like to hope that there could be some teamwork done.
Yeah,
with corporate sponsors, but a lot of
the
kids
sound is behind the video
during snow days. Excuse me, and sometimes snowstorms happen during school vacation week, so it'd be pretty easy to have a system.
Travis is really cheaping out on his internet.
Number of individuals that are elderly and/or infirm call in saying, "I can't shovel my sidewalk," and some kids can call in because they have the day off that are enterprising and energetic and say, "Hey, I'm available." Maybe we could match those kids up.
Get all the pickleball players out there.
The sidewalk shoveled.
All right, Worcester, it's a city of extremely swole elders.
It's a good exercise in getting them to understand, hard work pays off.
It kind of, I know it doesn't happen everywhere, but it does kind of weird me out that more people don't like it over in my neighborhood. Whoever gets out first with a snowblower, just takes care of everybody. It's,
I don't know if it's anything.
It's just what you do. I don't know. We mostly all skip over the one person we know spends all their time on Facebook, in QAnon groups thinking about creative ways to kill us. But it's everyone else gets taken care of.
That's wild. Maybe I should be nicer or ever speak to my neighbors.
Yeah,
they all have snowblowers.
Point out that there are.
I try. The next door neighbor, I try and make eye contact. They avoid eye contact with me.
No, I don't disagree, Maine South Mom. I just think it's weird that it doesn't just happen.
By zip code, but there are a number of organizations, including some of the fraternities at WPI, some of the colleges. But I recall.
Is it because we play horror movies on the side of our house during Halloween?
People will go down a little.
Is it because we have one of those 12-foot high skeletons and we left it up from September to January?
They had them, and people would voluntarily go out and help shovel the sidewalks, etc. So I don't know if we need to. I want to support Councilor Bergman's order. I don't know if we need to have a report back first. From the law department in terms of liability, things like that. But perhaps we could get that report if in a form of a.
We didn't need to until you brought it up.
So, thank you.
So take that collectively. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
I've got a great picture kicking around somewhere. So my family's originally from, they all grew up on Hitchcock Road out of Maine South, and really good photo. It's pre-World War II, and it's like 100 dudes in tweed, all out with garden shovels, clearing the street and the sidewalks. And there's in the middle of it, there's a tractor. It looks like somebody must have rolled it in from Leicester. It's just, it's just weird to me that you wouldn't just take care of your neighbors. It's
project. So we're going to have a meeting in the.
Isn't it crazy that back then they just had to use dumb stuff like that, like garden shovels, and people like boxed in dress shoes, fucking the past is so stupid.
It was dumb. But also not that long ago.
I want to bring back fisticuffs.
Hey, anybody in the city, I'll fisticuffs anybody in the city. I don't
Yeah,
care
see, I'm gonna get you.
But I mean, like earlier, Bill made a comment about like it being so long since anyone had to think about nuclear annihilation. Like when I was a kid, like we still had monthly drills of the air raid siren on top of West Hatnick Elementary School. Like that awful whirring noise, just to make sure it worked. Like, we weren't hiding under desks and shit. But
I request that the manager consider utilizing the American Rescue Plan Act funds to create a rent-to-own program to also incorporate a sweat equity.
Yeah, but now we got a big
component
plow
for
to
those wishing
destroy my
purchase a
curb.
3-decade home that is not fully rented out, which would open up more apartments, home ownership availability. Council Toomey.
Thank you, Mr.
is
Chair.
Shaun here tonight?
Like I mentioned, it's another opportunity.
Connolly?
Folks have brought it up
No,
before,
Shaun
and I really
Rose.
think that now
Yeah.
is the time, as I
Are
said,
you
to
even paying
step up,
attention?
really create a
COVID
I
brain,
don't.
right?
I haven't seen him.
Okay, because tonight
walks of life
he
and
had
all
his item up
backgrounds
tonight
like
for
these races, to be able to
nuclear power.
find a new way to be able
Oh,
to
yeah.
access their own home. And I think that this is a viable opportunity, especially where so many, I've talked to so many folks who are elderly who haven't been able to do the repairs.
Can you
upgrades
talk to them
and
when they don't have
codes
cell
and all
phones?
that in their homes, and they actually could use
Let's
the
see.
help.
They'll call me, and then I'll
financially as
spread the
well.
message.
So I think this is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. So send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. A couple resolutions that the City Council of the City of Worcester does hereby support and recognize March 2022 as a Women's History Month in the City of Worcester.
Biden getting full standing O's from the entire gallery.
Members and residents,
just because he brought out the QAnon shaman. He said he was still hiding there the whole time.
Beheaded him live on television. I couldn't believe it.
It's pretty crazy.
Virtual. Women of Consequence Awards used to be at City Hall.
I don't give a shit about what's happening here anymore. I'm leaving. Don't you guys read the news?
Yes, you're allowed to speak on it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just appreciate this resolution. I just wanted to say,
seriously, this ASL translator for the State of the Union address, wild.
You know, I believe that this particular council
just
historic in terms of
having a good time. You got to make the most of your opportunities.
Yeah, super expressive. I love that.
Council previous.
Like I don't read ASL, so I need some help. I need good facial expressions.
Person, it's our most diverse body that we've ever had, and in terms of women's history, I know that we had in the past there was some talk about statues and things of that nature. I don't know where that's at.
We should have statues of women throughout the city.
And I think about this as a father of three girls. This is just a great month to celebrate. And, I think that as the city grows and as we're influenced by the women that have come before, the women who serve us now, that we're going to continue to grow and be better. I mean, we haven't had the sorts of dialogue we're having about a whole host of issues in this particular term really lends to where we're going to be going in the future. So thank you for putting this on, and
thank you, Council.
Happy to be a part of it.
Yep. Council Berger.
Girl boss.
Briefly, Mr. Chairman, I neglected at our last meeting to make mention that I often try to do of Esther Howland. We're talking about women's history and, of course, her connection to the Valentine's Day card and also the naming of this hall for her. But I would also say that I have mentioned the name of Sarah Wall before, who in the 1860s decided that if she wasn't going to get the right to vote in Worcester, she wasn't going to pay her taxes. It was the first case ever decided on that issue. But I mentioned that only because in the context of celebrating Women's History Month and our 300th anniversary, and obviously we unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to celebrate the 100th year of women's suffrage being successful because of COVID, there has been a recognition through the Pomeroy Foundation of the Sarawal's contribution to Worcester. I was notified.
That could be the play, right? We
the application.
just put a dress on the Columbus statue, and then the people who love the Columbus statue get really, really pissed off and offended, and they rip it down themselves.
A marker. I know one of my colleagues can get asked about monuments and markers. There will be a marker put on the intersection of Sycamore Street and Main Street, where her home existed, in which she refused to pay taxes if she wasn't going to be allowed to vote. So there's a lot of exciting things. I know we have our 300th anniversary. There's a lot more on the history of women's contributions to the city of Worcester. But I just wanted to make mention of those particular individuals since we're talking about March being Women's History Month. Thank you.
Thank you. So do a roll call. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Fun fact for those who might not be aware, this is the 300th anniversary of the third time Worcester was settled as a community, and the first time it wasn't burnt to the ground by the First Nations folks who were already living here.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
And to be clear, they're still upset about it.
And I would be more than happy if they decided to make up for lost time and burn it to the ground once again.
The Awareness Month, the City of Worcester, and the City Council, the City of Worcester.
Yeah, I'd like to help with that.
To observe it in the
I'd shovel their driveways.
Yeah. The problem is every time I grab a tiki torch, people think it's a different thing.
It's always misinterpreted.
In our community, this was off by
Just looking for a good time.
I think it'd be fine if we vote this tonight, and since March will be over before we know it. So roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Haji?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Nguyen?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose? Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. We have two salary ordinances to be ordained on the roll call. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Haji?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Nguyen?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose? Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. 13A and 13C. We're going to hold those again.
Bye, Lindita.
They'll be
Thanks for
here
hanging out.
All those roll call.
Council Bergman?
Mr. Chairman, this is to hold?
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Haji?
I apologize. Can you repeat again what we're holding?
13A and 13C.
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Nguyen?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose? Council Russell?
Yes.
I'm barely paying attention to this.
Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Biden's talking about committing forces to protect every NATO territory, and he's already moving stuff over there.
13B is to Public Works, and 13D and E is to Traffic and Parking. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Haji?
Yes.
Council
Mo is
King?
in a rush, huh?
Look at the clock.
Council Nguyen?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rose? Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. That brings us to the end of the meeting. We can, motion is to adjourn. Roll call. What's that?
Yeah, this one is coming pretty close to midterms.
Yeah.
All right, there we go, everybody. We did it. A meeting that was a fully 40% executive session. Got some really fascinating work done tonight. I think I'm pretty proud of all of our city councilors.
We heard about
you guys all. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Like I said, check out all the stuff that we talk about every week. Brendan, do another episode of your podcast.
Yeah, I'll get on it one of these years.
We insist. Please, everybody, go out this moment right now to the stores and buy yourself some crafty kombucha. It's the best. We love it so much. We love Matt, and we appreciate all his support in this stream. Check out Bill's Substack. Check out Bill's podcast. It's really great. I mean, I'm not kidding when I tell you that he's an incredible writer. He's gonna be a big deal soon. I really do think that we're very lucky to have him, and you can get his work for very cheap. And every time you subscribe and give him money, it just makes his work that much better because you can focus on it more. The podcast is hilarious. Dan is so funny. Listen to my podcast if you want. I don't know. Do you like wrestling? Do you like
hilarious
drama?
people?
We like to talk about all the bullshit and just kind of give you an idea of what how funny wrestling is and silly and dumb. And Will Smalley is a treasure. I think you're gonna fall in love with this guy if you listen to a couple episodes of this podcast. So check that out. Check out next Monday night. Seltzer time, baby. Coming right here to this channel. Just leave it logged in. Just stay logged in all week. I think that's how it works.
It's really good for our numbers.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, it's help us out. So stay tuned for that, and follow WCT 3000 on Instagram. Your new home for Worcestery Council Theater 3000. Thank you all again so much. I'm gonna go get some more cake, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Have a great week.